Hey, this is Niels on Dynasty.
Palisades are burning bright, Oregon trucks nowhere inside, budget cuts, hydrants dry, no water in supply.
All my fellow citizens, they've lost their homes, they have no recourse, no insurance payout because the carriers dropped them. Right. Even the carriers realized that California was ill-prepared and had scant resources to deal with the inevitable fires. They knew that. So are we supposed to believe that our elected officials didn't know that? Of course they knew that. Of course, Mayor Bass tweeted about the levels of danger days before she blew out of town.
Climate change is a good thing to blame because that way no one actually gets in trouble for the sheer magnitude of incompetence.
I think I came to realize that it was monumental mismanagement by our elected officials, and that's the nicest thing you can say about it.
Yeah, I've been listening to your governor, Gavin Newsom, and he's promising LA 2.0, a reimagined Los Angeles. He even says he has a Marshall Plan.
Governor Newsom, wildfires have destroyed millions of acres of the state, displaced countless amounts of family. Do you take responsibility for any of this? And is there anything more you think you could have done?
Not really. I think these fires were very devastating. I think the full scope of what actually has happened, we're not there yet. Okay, these people's houses are just destroyed. People are suffering. People are sad. But we're Californians. We're going to push through. We're going to push through. And where we're going, the vision is 10 times bigger than anybody else can even imagine.
And reservoirs, the reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here in Southern California, that mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Mel Gibson blast Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newscomb is what we like to call him around here, at a press conference in the fire-ravaged Altadena, standing with the victims of the devastation. Is Mel Gibson running for governor?
What's up, Indy?
Lost their homes, they have no recourse, no insurance payout because
we might have another actor as a governor out here in California.
Even the carriers realized that California was ill-prepared and had scant resources to deal with the inevitable fires. They knew that. So are we supposed to believe that our elected officials didn't know that? Of course they knew that. Of course, Mayor Bass tweeted about the levels of danger days before she blew out of town. You know? Ugh. And we drove around in the PCH and into my neighborhood and various other neighborhoods, devastating. There was, you know, I saw my houses and my friends and neighbors reduced to toxic piles of smoldering rubble, much like here in Altadena. I mean, one of the most pathetic.
So what do you guys think? Well, you're the only one here, Indy, so what do you think? You think Mr. Gibson should run for governor? That's what that was about. Of course, they're all actors. Some of them just take more of the pie than others. Gavin Newsom's taken a large part of the pie for his act. But yeah, it's just interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm not sure what's going to happen this state. I heard there's some sort of I think a San Diego sheriff is supposed to throw his hat in the ring for running for governor as well. Who knows? All I know is this year, California is bankrupt. We're actually not bankrupt. $66 billion in the hole. And I believe it might be, don't call me racist, it might be because we give free health care to any non-citizen who wants to break the law and live the American dream. That might be why we're broke. Hey, what's up, I am. Of course, I could be mistaken. We could be because we're doing so much dumping of water in the Pacific. That might be why we're broke. Sorry, I'm smoking. I'm not sorry I'm smoking. I'm just sorry. I stopped talking because I had to inhale. Woo! I got some good shit. Speaking of which, this year I'm going to do 2 extra plants and stick them in potters because around the 5th to 6th week of bud cycle, you can manipulate the plants and cause one of them or cause them to hermaphrodite, where you can get seeds. And if you do it properly, you can get guaranteed female. You can get guaranteed female seeds, and they go for like between $12 and $20 a seed. And each plant, I'm going to do two plants. Each plant will, I should have several thousand seeds. And probably maybe 5,000 seeds by the end of this year, which converts to about $50,000 if I decide to sell them. And that's how easy it is to make money if you want to make money. There's lots of ways to make money out there. Of course, in that business, selling seeds, you obviously have to have a good name. You just can't step into the game and expect people to believe you know what the fuck you're doing. Although, with my luck of buying feminized seeds, only about 1/3 of them turns out to be feminized, so I could probably blow into that business pretty easily, because about 100% of seeds I've given away to people, that all of them have been feminized, female, so I've never had one hermaphrodite plant of a seed that I gave to somebody, of seed that I produced when I germinated my own plants. So, but convincing other people of that and getting money from them is another story. And as usual, at the top, it's pinned. Anyone want to come up? I even let Mongol emperors up if Attila wants to come up. Although I heard you died like 2,000 years ago. Actually, it's probably only like 1,400. I don't know, actually. When the hell did Attila the Hun? That's a good question. When did Attila the Hun? No, I was right. I was right about 1,600 years ago. I said 1,600. Attila the Hun lived from approximately 410 to 453 AD. So, I already lost half the crowd. Not sure what I'm going to talk about tonight. Had a lot of things to talk about. I got another video on why guys aren't dating women. If anyone wants to see that one, why modern day men are stepping away from the dating scene and not bothering with women at all. There's actually a video out there on why. I already know why, but so you want to talk about gold going down? You want to talk about platinum? Oh, really? You know, that's interesting, Attila, because Hun, actually it's, not Attila, I'm sorry. It's Genghis, Genghis Khan, Kahn. During his reign, he ran across to Eastern Europe with his horde of horse soldiers, archers, and whatnot. And then he got called back and he died, and they left a lot of their army in what ended up being Germania area, and they interbred with the Nordic, or the quote unquote barbarians. And believe it or not, okay, I like to say it like this. People say, what am I right now? I'll tell you, I'm German Scottish. 1,000 years ago, it was Norwegian Mongolian. Because my brother did a genealogical search or whatever the hell that is, and from the name for Sutherlands, and it went back longest oldest date they could find would be in the 11th, or was it 1070? So what would that be, 11th century? Yeah, 11th century, in a little town in Norway. And then on my dad's side, for the Hans, it doesn't go back but about 300 years before it started changing names, and they chased it back to Khan, and part of Genghis Khan's horde that went into Germany when the ones that got left there. That's why my dad was dark. He was dark white boy. One of the darkest white boys I've ever seen in my life. So is my papa, his father. Yeah, European history is kind of awesome. Actually, they do kind of teach, they touch on it. They just demonize and bastardize it and don't tell the truth. Because the truth would not favor certain religions nowadays, or at least definitely one. Because you got to ask yourself the question, why is there 300 to 400 years of European history missing that they call it the Dark Ages? And then start doing your own research, not of European history, but do Asian history, do Middle Eastern history, do African history, along the same time as the Dark Ages of European history. And you'll get a pretty good idea what the fuck happened. Yeah, I actually grew up, I spent quite a few years in Europe, going to school in Italy and in Scotland. So I actually got to learn European history from actual fucking Europeans. Stayed at Rome for 6 weeks. Stayed in Naples, Venice, Florence. Oh shit, where else? Lots of places in Scotland. 2 places in France. What's up, Pete and Repeat? We're there for a couple weeks in France, 2 little small towns. I don't even recall the names. They were covered, but they had to have been in the northeast because there's mountains all around. And we weren't there but for a couple weeks. I don't even recall the freaking names. There's a lot of good times, though. It's probably why I got in trouble a lot, because we never went back to a lot of the places, so never to pay any consequences if I did get in trouble. So anything you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about silver falling, gold falling, housing falling? Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh, and don't get me started on the Pope or the Vatican or the Archdiocese. Oh God. Oh, they're so evil. They're so evil. Here's some facts for you. You know, the Southern California Diocese is Catholic diocese about 11 or 12 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, somewhere around there. They got sued for child molestation, found guilty, had to pay $4 billion in reparations to the victims. So the Southern California Diocese had to sell all of their assets. And you're saying, Neil, how do you know this? Well, one way you know this is if a friend of yours buys one of the houses that used to belong to the Southern California Diocese, and they used it as a alcohol rehabilitation center, but it was actually a nice Victorian house. And a friend of mine bought it, and he bought it because they had to liquidate it because they had to come up with $4 billion because they lost a lawsuit for child molestation. About the same time the Pope started calling, here's something y'all might know there, about, I don't know, 6 years ago, somewhere around there, maybe 7, the Pope at the time Pope. I don't know which one. It might be the same ones in there now. I don't keep up with them. They're all bastards. Called all of the dioceses around the world and told them to send back all the artifacts and all the funds back to the Vatican. That means all the treasures from around the world that the Catholics had is all in the Vatican right now. And I'm curious as to why he did that. No one ever wanted to talk to me about it. But if you want to know what's happened in the future of the economies, look at what these secret organizations are doing. All these big religions are doing with their money. They always make news beforehand. Yeah, isn't it amazing? But see, here's the funny thing. We're not being told about the people that go to jail. I've read reports, headline reports, just news article, one time not picked up by any major news source. Several, I think it was in Colorado and in Pennsylvania, and I believe in Michigan, a whole bunch of people have been going to jail for the past, over the whole Biden administration for election fraud. No, not during the last 2 years of the Biden administration, because they got busted for election fraud in the 2022 congressional elections. A whole bunch of people got busted for election fraud on the Democrat side. And actually, a lot of people have been sentenced to jail. It just hasn't, you haven't heard it on mainstream news. And here's a little theory for you. They're saying, oh, we're going to get all these felons and illegals that committed crime out of America. And they will. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll have no problem with it. But an interesting thought that I had that the news wouldn't talk about is, wouldn't that be a great cover for picking up a whole bunch of people that have never had power and did bad things with it when they were in office? And we would never know about it because, what's up, Silver Patriot, love God, man? We'd never know about it because the news would never report on it. But there's going to be a lot of money changing hands over these prisoner things, with us having foreigners that the countries don't want them back because they're too dangerous, and what people aren't considering when it comes to the economy, because everything's intertangled. If we have to, because we've expanded Guantanamo, I believe someone said 50,000 people can hold. Well, those will be all non-U.S. citizens. So that means, what's up, Knackers and Wild Adventure? That means that there's going to be 50,000 non-citizens jailed by America, and the countries that they are citizens of will be paying us to keep them in jail. So we're going to actually gain revenue over these next couple of years because of this roundup of illegal aliens. And that kind of sort of makes me wonder if it wasn't sort of planned, because we'll probably get like $50,000 per person per year, if not more, maybe even 100,000. So 50,000 times 100,000, that's a lot of money. And that'll all be revenue, because the military keeps up with Guantanamo. So it'll all be defense budget spending, which is very minimal, because you're going to spend the money on the defense budget anyhow, because they got MPs, other security agencies and stuff, intel agencies down there anyhow in Guantanamo. They have to be there whether there's prisoners there or not. So you can hide it in the budget and cover it up where it won't be seen, and you can actually gain a lot of revenue. What do they call it? External revenue service. That could be part of the external revenue service. If people are wondering how we're going to be making money. Another thing about that external revenue service, I heard over several different presidencies throughout my lifetime. And it was like every election there for like several elections where they were talking about taxes, of course, every time taxes. And all these people would say, well, there's so many trillions hiding in offshore bank accounts that we can't get a hold of. And everyone's talking about tax the rich. Let's throw some common sense in here. Okay, let's put some common sense in here. Okay, so you want to tax the rich. You know there's trillions of dollars in offshore's account that the Internal Revenue Service or the IRS can't get a hold of. So what would be the commonsensical thing to do? If it's money hidden offshore outside of the American system that's part of the American cash, which also affects our economy because it's cash, stagnant cash, then when you do External Revenue Service, if there's like so let's just keep the math simple. Say there's $1 trillion that they can tax at to 15%. That's $150 billion. Now there's $5 trillion in offshore accounts, and the External Revenue Service gets a hold of it. That's like close to 700, $750 billion in revenue. And then you're going to get 100,000 off of 50. You're going to get probably $500 billion from different countries for housing their criminals in Guantanamo Bay. So you're looking at revenue from External Revenue Service that I can see. I'm not saying they're going to go this way. I'm just projecting how I'm trying to figure out how the external, there's no criteria yet for how they're going. So I'm trying to figure out how they could get this money. And I've already figured out 2 ways. And in those 2 ways, they could bring in 1.25 trillion. Right now, the Internal Revenue Service brings in about 4.5 trillion a year. So they'd still have to bring in, and if they're going to cut 1 trillion in tax cuts, that means that they'd have to do a semi-balanced budget with the 3.5 trillion coming in. But if they do 1 trillion in cuts and they don't spend the 2 trillion down to 1 trillion, then we could actually pay off part of the deficit and still have a lower tax income from the External Revenue Service and still be able to cover all of our debts because of the cuts and because of a couple $1 trillion of investment in building infrastructure here in America, for which I know of at least 2.5 trillion has been committed to start flooding into America this year for building of factories and other things to have products made here in America. Oh, you'd like to watch it again? Hold on. Well, what you could do is you could friend me on Facebook. And let me see your videos. I'll go ahead and I'll find it and I'll post the link. Hold on. That's not where I wanted to go. Video. Nope, that's not where I wanted to go. Saved. There we go. Hold on just a second, buddy. I had 2 videos, a 3-minute and a 6-minute video. 6-minute video gives a better explanation, shows more of the actual my implementation and development of a beehive, the box system itself and the redesign of it. That's actually more beneficial for the bee itself, because the Langstroth system is very detrimental to the bee because the way it's designed, the comb of the bees and the entryway runs the whole length of the hive, and the combs are set about 3/8 of an inch above the that's the link for the 6+ minute video. The comb is about 1/4 inch above the bottom or the top of the opening. So you have about 3/4 of an inch differential from the bottom of the hive and where the beginning of the comb is. So even if the bee was to groom itself and say a varroa might get knocked off, it would hit the bottom part of that hive, and the bee would have to drop down and walk through that varroa mite to get outside. So it would be reinfested. So what's the purpose of the bee cleaning itself and de-pesting itself and grooming itself if it's going to get reinfested when it comes back or goes out of the hive? That's just fucking stupid. So I changed that design a little bit by putting a 6-inch, a 2x6 basically piece of wood for the front entryway, and then set the box on top of it, getting rid of the whole Langstroth system. And then I drilled 3 holes in that 2x6 6 as entryways. Because if you do the math on 3 holes the size of a wine cork bottle, 1 inch diameter, or diameter, not radius. Radius is like 3.2 or something like that inches. It's the same. It breaks out to about the same as the full length of the Langstroth hive opening, as far as square inches for the bee to enter, but it's in 3 circles. So depending on the size of the hive, instead of having to come up with some bizarre fashion to close up a lot of that opening, so the bees can, only defend a small opening, all you got to do is put in if it's a small hive, put in 2 wine cork bottles to block off 2 of those holes, and then they have 1 hole that to go in. And another reason why I used a 2x6 is because when you drill through a 2x6, that means there's like 1 3/4 inches of a tunnel that the bees have to go in. They can go in upside down. They can incorporate that whole hole, right? But as far as defending the hive, if a predator like a wasp goes into a Langstroth hive, all they got to do is hit the entryway, walk in, and go straight up, and they're in the comb. They can start killing bees, and that's what's going to happen. In my system, the Sutherland system, they got to go through that 1 3/4 inch hole. Now, you got to learn how bees kill wasps, and how they kill wasps is they'll surround them and flap their wings to get the temperature up around them to 103 degrees, which fries the wasp. It's hard to do with the Langstroth system, but if the wasp goes in through that tunnel, the bees on the outside can alert the bees on the inside. 4 bees on each side can stop that hornet from getting to the inside of that hive, surround it and kill it before it even enters the hive. Another benefit of that system is having that screen bottom is you have airflow, because the problem with the beehives is moisture and mildew and funguses and moths get drawn to the moisture. So you need better airflow. So I added that screen on the bottom. Another reason for that screen is because if the bees go to groom themselves and groom themselves of the varroa mite will fall down, hit that screen, and fall through the screen away from and out of the hive. Because for one, the bee will never hit the bottom of the screen because it's going to fly down to the side on the 2x4 and walk through the hole. So it averts the whole reinfestation of the varroa mite or any other pest or parasite to the bee after a grooming session. So there's a lot to that hive system. Yeah, I reposted it. It's up here. I'll highlight it. That's it right there. But that's part of the whole system. And another part of the bottom, the screen part, I got a latch on it. So that way when the bees die, you don't, I mean, it's just kind of sick that you'd have to walk over a dead body just to get outside. And in the Langstroth system, that's kind of sort of what happens with the bees. In my system, they fall down the screen area. And every time you visit the hive, you just drop that, you open up that clasp, and that 6-minute video, I think, shows it, and drop it down and just shake out all the dead bees so they don't even have to deal with it. Thus taking care of a lot of their, what I would believe would be mental stress of having to deal with pulling dead people out of your house on a daily basis, your buddies and shit like that. So there's a lot to it, and that's just a concept prototype. There's actually going to be more to it. I want to add mushrooms to the bottom, because if bees have access to mushrooms in the mycelium network and the liquid or the dew off of the mycelium network, it actually turns the immune system on of the bee, because bees actually live for a year if their immune system's turned on. If their immune system's turned off, they live 12 to 16 weeks, which is what most quote unquote experts say bees live. That's because experts don't know anything about fucking bees because they haven't talked to me yet. But if you add the mushrooms to the bottom and they have access, that that makes them live longer, makes them healthier, obviously, because their immune system's turned on, which makes for a happier, healthier hive, which means for less case of them getting mad at you and stinging you. And that's why if you watch that video, you'll see, I'm walking in front of 4 hives. I do everything beekeepers tell you not to do, or you'll get stung. And I did it on a regular basis, knowing I wouldn't get stung, because I proved 6 years worth of trial and error, my system works and it's better for the bees. The bees are happier. I've done so much with bees. I wrangled a swarm of bees as they were swarming, because I understand they run off pheromones. And we moved our trailer like 1 foot, doing an experiment, see how, because supposedly they said if the hive entrance moves more, what is it? If you move it more than a foot, it'll throw them off. So if you move it more than a foot, you have to move it a mile. So it resets their GPS so they know where the entrance way, because the way their brains work, the little beehive brains work, they run off of pheromones, and the smell of the queen comes out of that of the entryway, and that's how they like do a GPS marker when they leave the hive where the entryway is. So if you move the beehive for more than a foot from where it was when they left, they get confused. And if they get confused, they start freaking out, and then they want to swarm. One of many reasons why they swarm. And I noticed that reaction while I was out there. So I grabbed a piece of cardboard, and I took and I swashed it in front of the three openings on the hive, to where the air would go into where the bees were swarming, where the entrance was, which we moved it about 3 foot. And the bees started picking up that pheromone. And you could visually see it because there's like 100,000 of them. They're small, but when they're in a big number like that, it's really easy to tell how they're going to react or how they are reacting. And once you could tell that they were catching the pheromone from me, like swooshing with that cardboard in front of the hive, pushing air out of the hive into where they were. They got the smell of the pheromone of the queen, and they figured it out, and they all started going down the entryway and piling in. I got video of it, or my buddy's got video of it. I actually wrangled a swarm of bees with air. I learned so much about bees. Oh no, you should be able to view that video. Okay, hold on a second here. I'll do you one better. Let me get back over here. We'll show it. Give me a second, guys. Let me get back to my videos. Where are they? Oh, now Facebook doesn't want to cooperate. Canadian, that's not it. Ah, there it is. Okay, hold on a second here. I need to share screen. And who do I want to share screen with? I want to share screen with Facebook. Oh, no, I don't want it small. Shit, sorry, guys. Here we go.
As you can see, no dead bees, because I knocked all the dead bees out
See, that's the bottom screen area that I was talking about.
This is the bottom.
And you see you got
Now we have
6
it set
inches.
up.
And also another thing right up underneath here, typically during a regular hive scenario, right here where my cursor is where the Langstroth bottom would be. So the bees would have to take, when they create the male comb, they'd have to take one of these instead of making females. They'd have to take one whole comb because the male's bigger. So they'd waste a lot of space making the male comb, to where on my system, the Sutherland system, this area here, the bottom frame of the comb, they would actually build new comb for the males. So that way, after the males came out and they were no good to the hive anymore, I could go in there and just rip the comb off. And that's what those little brown ones are. You see my cursor? That's part of the male comb that was there from the last season that I ripped off the bottom. It was a lot more easier to maintain and a lot more friendly and helpful to the hive itself, because it didn't have to reorganize itself and take up one of these whole frames just to make the male comb.
Now I'm going to powder sugar them.
Yeah, and powder sugar and get them to groom themselves.
We
I
have
was
powdered
learning.
sugar.
Okay, let me disclaimer here. I overloaded them with powdered sugar. I was still learning at this point, and I used way too much powdered sugar. I mean, I gave them a sugar rush, and so I don't like showing this part of the video because I actually fucked up. But oh well, it's a learning curve. I was learning. Actually, that right there inside the hive would have been more than enough. But I kept going and going and going. See those little holes right there? There's 3 of those little bitty holes right there on the E on honey. That's a cork size hole. That was one of their entryways, 3 of them to get into the colony. Well, you're seeing it right now, brother.
That's
Actually, I should fast forward this
good
crap.
smoke amount. You know what I'm saying? Armful.
I, however, am backing away.
My partner didn't. See, notice I don't wear any bee equipment. My partner got scared.
And we
Unless
get the
he's
dead
backing
out,
away.
help them out. And close it back up. No stings. Free these guys up with some sugar.
And you also see we got
They open
beehives
from
away
inside
from the
to fit,
trailer
so I'll do that
in the
later.
regular
I'm gonna talk to
configuration.
them.
It's actually got handles on it. You see right at my back here, this little area where my cursor's at. We made a bottom, the Sutherland system, so that way for transportation for the hobbyist beekeeper, it's easier to transport because you can grab the front. The front of that has a 6-inch, what I call the porch for the bees. So you put your hands underneath it. You're most likely not going to get stung grabbing that area. And there's 2 handles right here. You could easily move it. And this is the base right here that we made for the standalone beehives.
You can see they get a lot of powdered sugar. Now we're going to go to the other side. Again, no suit, no aggression. Several different species of bees.
Yeah, we have the Italian, the Russian, European. I have lots of different species of bees.
Powder sugarman a little bit up first.
Anyhow, I lost too many viewers, so no one wants to see that. Sorry, bro. I had 5 people drop off. They're probably allergic to bees. But also, if you notice, the only thing, and I, again, I spent 6 years of my life learning about these little fuckers. The only place that you can die if you're not allergic to them, well, obviously, if you get stung, it's like 1 sting per pound. So if you're like 200 pounds, you get stung 200 times, you're pretty much dead. If you use 200 pounds, you get stung 100 times, you're pretty much dead. If you get stung in the ear, inside the ear, not just the outer part of the ear, but the inner canal of the ear, if the bee stings you there, you're dead. 1 sting because of swelling, swells in the internal of the brain, and you get brain swelling, and boom, you're dead. And as I was doing that study in the medical stuff on how the damage is humans, I found out elephants don't like bees either. And so I came up with a system to make an elephant fencing system that I was going to deploy in Africa that I still, actually, I had to get a GoFundMe up for that. It costs about $35,000, $40,000 to get my ass down there with some prototypes and down to Zambia because they're looking for someone to come up with some sort of a elephant fencing system. And I've got one developed. I've had one. I've had it for 12, 13 years now. Hell, I probably add some new technology to it and even make it fucking lighter and cheaper. But if anyone wants to get involved in being part of someone who gets the first elephant fencing mobile or permanent, it could be either elephant fencing system, get in touch with me. All we gotta do is come up with about $35,000, $40,000, get in touch with some people down in Zambia or in the UN. And because the UN back in 2012 sent some scientists down to Zambia to do some studies. If we hook up with them, what's up, Mike? If we hook up with them, they know all about what I'm talking about, and then we could get a fast tracked in, talk to the right people, get down there, deploy it, get a whole bunch of press, maybe get some money. A lot of notoriety. Animal activists around the world would love us for helping save the elephant. I just don't have the money. I did have hooked up with, I'll even tell you the name, Nesefu Wildlife. They're out of Lingwana State National Park in the southeast corner of Lingwana State National Park in Zambia. They got a $30,000 bee grant from Ocean City, or no, it was Ocean City, Ocean World in San Diego, SeaWorld in San Diego, because of my beekeeping project. and they ended up cutting me out last minute. Took the 30,000 and bought a safari Jeep, and then just put some fucking African woman in a bee suit around some beehives and sent SeaWorld some pictures and said it was an unsuccessful attempt of deploying of my system, but they never deployed my system. Oh my God, Pete, we repeat. I'll tell you who did it. That was a female. She's got an 8-year PhD from UC Davis. Her name is Professor King, and she uses wires, not ropes. Stupidest fucking system I've ever seen. I fucking stupid. She went to school for 8 years to learn about these fuckers, and the best thing she'd come up with is what you said. A couple strings running through a beehive to where if an elephant runs into it, the whole beehive fucking hits the ground, breaks, and the bees get mad and chase the freaking elephant off, and everybody else that's within a half mile. And it's like so fucking rudimentally stupid. My system's just a pole, a freaking solar panel, a fucking some sort of a sound device, and a motion sensor. Quiet! Sorry, cats are meowing. And shit, elephants are big. You put that motion sensor on. Yeah, I know it was a few years back. I was keeping up with her, Pete. I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. I know the lady. Quiet! Her name's Dr. King. She's blonde, curly haired. She's older lady now. I know exactly who. I know who came up with that system, Pete. I have never met her, but I kept up with her papers, and I thought it was rudimentary fucking kindergarten bullshit, and it is. I mean, fuck, kindergartner could come up with that. It's got me thinking she might be a DEI hire, actually, because I'm a high school dropout, and I got a system that's 50,000 times better than hers and cheaper. And it turns off. No one, you don't have to rebuy a whole freaking hive and reset up the whole system and re-get the bees into the box. Oh my God, the trouble. Oh my God, it's so fucking stupid, that system. I mean, really, it's stupid. Hey, whatever it takes. I got a lot of other things going on. I've had that on the back burner for over a decade, brother. Quiet, Silver. See, my Silver talks to me. Bet you all Silver doesn't talk to you. Be quiet, Silver. I wish my Silver didn't talk to me. Now, Platina, I wouldn't mind when Platina talks to me, but she's got to keep me out. My other Silver, he's half Siamese, and he's got that disgusting meow. I freaking hate Siamese meows. It's the chord they get in their meow that just fucking, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. He was cute when he's a baby, and I didn't put it together. I thought he was retarded, but I look at him now and it's like, no, he's fucking half Siamese. It's plain and clear. Yeah, go find me. We could do something like that. I mean, anyone want to try that? I'm more than down with it. And you'd be coming along with the ride too. Lord knows, the country of Zambia, we could do a lot of computer work, get a hold of the right people as soon as they found out, because they've been looking for an elephant fencing system down there. For one, not only to keep their farmers safe and their crops safe, because believe it or not, elephants still run through the village down there. I've seen videos. It's funny as shit. It's actually not, because when they hit on the wall, the whole building falls down. And it's a problem. But also to keep the elephants when they migrate. They don't want them to go through Zambia into Zimbabwe, because in Zimbabwe they can kill elephants. So they always get half the elephants back on the migration north. This went south, and every year they're getting less and less elephants through Zambia, because once they go past the Zambezi River into Zimbabwe, they usually get killed. And Zambia wants to be an international tourist destination, wildlife tourist destination, so they're trying to keep elephants in their country. And they've been trying for years. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? So they want the system. They want some. They put out a call in 2010. I'm gonna throw a shoe at you. Not at you guys, my cat. The one that keeps me yelling. It's just like hereditary. They know when the shoes fly to shut up. Because probably somewhere in their lineage, their parents had shoes thrown at them. Muscle memory inherited through the children. Quit meowing when shoes start flying. So you guys want to keep talking about bees? You know, the bee's tongue's about 3/4 of an inch long. The bee's only about an inch long. Well, maybe maybe 5/8 of an inch, not 3/4. They've got one hell of a long tongue. About 12 years ago, when I was I was an iron worker, but I was also a part-time professional photographer. I got paid to do gigs. I had this kick-ass, I still have it. It's not as kick-ass now because technology surpassed it. But at the time, it was one of the most kick-ass cameras you could get without paying like tens of thousands of dollars. And I set out a cup, a glass jar, and I filled it up with honey about a 1/2 inch from the top. And I had beehives on my back porch, 2 of them. And the bees would all gather around it. And I'd get my telescopic lens and I'd scope in on them. And I got pictures of their tongues being out, getting the honey. It was like bad. It was badass, man. I got some, but it's on my old computer. I need to get the pictures off of because it like crashed on me. But they got some long tongues. Well, someone else is going to have to start it because I got other things going on right now that I'm not going to get off what I'm going to get that going. Because what I got going, hopefully, will make me the money to be able to do that without a GoFundMe. But if it can get done beforehand, shit, I'm down. Is gold going back up? I thought it was dropping. Let's see what Kitco says here. That went up 11, so back to 28.69 and 31.35 for silver. Platinum is at 9.47. The buy of a freaking lifetime. Buy of a lifetime. As soon as this spring, when Clean Air Metals clears 400 yards of dirt away from that the top of that platinum vein, and they get all that equipment set up to start mining and to get the first core bulk sample, which they're expecting by sometime in spring 2025, this year, probably April or May. The charts won't show it that month, but the next month they're going to show a new platinum company that's extracting platinum, and their expected haul due to the core sample, the bulk core sample that they get, they'll be able to anticipate how much they'll be able to extract yearly. And we will find out then if they are going to be the largest platinum company on the world, the second largest, or the third largest. Neither doesn't matter because of the way business works. Even if they're only producing 1 million ounces a year, just say 800,000 ounces a year, it doesn't cost them a lot to get it. Because the number 1, 2, 3, and 5 platinum miners that are in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Rhodesia, and Rwanda, and I think there's one in Tanzania, all owned by South African companies. They have to go down like over 2,000 meters, about a mile, to start getting ore out. So that expense gets added to where the platinum mining company Clean Air Metals in Canada will have to go down, 1 foot, and then 2 foot, and then 3 foot, and then 4 foot, and then 5 foot. So it'll be a lot cheaper for them for the first couple of years to get platinum out, a lot cheaper than it is in South Africa. But they already stated that they're not going to start mining until the price of platinum goes up. And they said they're going to be mining by spring. So that means the price of platinum is going to be going up by spring. And you're like, Neil, just because they said it doesn't mean a damn thing. You're right. Typically it doesn't. But If you do your own research before people tell you to buy things and you just go off and buy them, say, well, you told me to, and you didn't know what the fuck you were buying. If you do your own research, you'll find out there's 3 billionaires backing this company. Yeah. So when you get that many significantly rich people backing one project, I can just put it this way. They're not significantly rich because they make too many bad calls. And when you get more than one of them in one, it looks pretty good. And when you get more than 2 of them, well, it's probably a guaranteed thing, because if 3 of them are all in the same thing, it's going to make money. Now, I've also told you about Geo Group. Warren Buffett and a couple other billionaires are in that. So it's going to be a big thing. Definitely do your own research, Gerald. Definitely do your own research. People will tell you, Ninja tells you about his picks. I'm starting to put in chat to do your own research, because people are too simple-minded. And if you're simple-minded enough to just want to listen to someone and not do your own research, you don't deserve the money. That's not how you keep money. The fool and his money are soon parted. And if you're full when you get your money, you're going to be a fool when you lose your money. So he's not interested, and I'm not interested in teaching or telling fools how to make money, because you'll lose it. And it'll do no one any good. We want good people making money, people who have a little bit of thought process, who can go ahead and do their own diligence. And when people put out these picks for you, do your own diligence, research it a little bit, see if it's actually what these people are saying it is, like Ninja and myself. I just got an alert from Ninja, actually. Let's see what you guys say here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, do your own research on this stuff, and you'll find that life will be better for you, because you'll be more informed. Because anytime you do your own research, you're going to learn something. Anytime you learn something, you're going to obviously become more intelligent and be more versed in many different things as life goes on, because you get into different things as life goes on. So if you research and develop your brain and all these different things throughout time period, you should get smarter as you get older. That's how it's supposed to work. So if you have a lot of old people around you that aren't smart, they didn't do it right. Don't follow their lead. So any other subject, or do you just want me to keep rambling? I can keep rambling. I'm good at talking, baby. I'm also good at shutting up. If you ever want to see me shut up, there's 2 things. If I go into a room of people, first off, if I have a purpose to go into a room with a whole bunch of people, you'll see I go straight to where I need to, whoever it is I need to talk to, and I'll be hanging out with them, getting shit done, whatever. If I go to a big place with a lot of people for no reason, I'll probably sit in the corner, keep my mouth shut, and just watch everybody and see what the fuck's going on. And I won't say a word all night, because I do talk a lot, but only when I'm comfortable or when I have to. I don't like go out in public and say, "What's up, Jeffrey?" I don't go out in public, just start running my mouth in just anywhere. Like if I go out, not that I do, but if I were to go out to a bar, I'd feel most uncomfortable, and I'd sit real close to either the exit or the entrance with my back to the wall, and I wouldn't be having a good time, because I'd be looking around determining which fight was going to break out first and how to position myself to take maximum advantage about those exits before I'd have to get involved in some physical confrontation. And that's just how my brain works. So I don't like room lots of people, because there's too many options of things going wrong, and there's too many things you have to keep track of. And if you start having a good time, you don't keep track of them, then you become complacent, and complacency is a security lapse. And in today's society, you don't want to be so complacent. Too many people driving cars down streets with parades going through them, if you know what I mean. That's just my thank you, Mike. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Of course it is, Jethro. I said it. You can go back to check my videos. It's not the first time I've talked about Geo Groups. I talk about Rolls Royce goes up 150%. I talk about Geo Groups goes up. Talk about NE goes up. I'm almost as good as Nancy Pelosi, except for I don't get insider trading, and no one listens to me. I don't know. A couple people have. I just find shit, and I don't have the money to take advantage of it. I'm not a normal person. I'm not gonna not tell anybody about it. I think everybody should take advantage of it. If I can't take advantage of it, it's not in God's will for me to. So why should I not spread the word about the advantage for others who can take advantage of it to do it? I mean, if everyone was like that, we'd all be a lot better off. Except for people are innately selfish. And that is a sin. And we're all guilty of it. We're just not aware of it to the point where we actually try not to be that way. Kind of, that's stupid. Sorry, I had to open up the window so my cats can talk to the outside cats. Yeah, so, and I don't care about housing prices. I know where I'm looking. Housing prices and land prices are going to continue to go down. At least till Q3. And I'll be in a position enough bought before then. And quite frankly, I'm a simple man. And $100,000 will get me what I want. 4-bedroom, 2-bath on 3 acres. 100,000. That's like $600 a month. My early retirement from the union. If I get this job I'm looking at the end of the job, my early retirement, which is 60% of regular retirement, will be about, after taxes, should be about $750 to $800. It'll pay my freaking mortgage and my utilities. So that's a solid foundation to start making money. Have a nice pad, several acres. Oh yeah. Not have to worry about bills. It's called preparation, setting yourself up. And that's not even including any investments that I have made paying off. And I'll still be able to live comfortably by the end of this year if nothing pays off. Because I always shoot for worst case scenario, paying off. And then once I get to that level, I say, okay, that's set. That's going to happen. Now let's start making money. And one of my ideas is the lightning crystal box and making lightning artwork. And by sometime this year, hopefully I'll be the first person in human history to have artwork created using the brush stroke of lightning. Yep, you heard it correctly. My what do they call it? My canvas will be a multitude of different minerals and sands for my canvas, and my brush will be lightning from the sky. I actually, Attila, believe it or not, when I had my 4 dogs, I only had 1 cat, and it was a Maine Coon, half Maine Coon. It was a half and half. Half of it was Maine Coon. Beautiful, intelligent kitty cat. Always wanted a Savannah, but I would rather have a serval because they're more cheetah-like, and they're taller, longer legs, and I don't know, they just remind me more of the bigger cats that I know I'll never be able to own, but always wanted one. So I've actually always, if I had a choice, because see all the cats I have right now, they were all outside cats that were born on my porch in my front door. I mean, it's like God told me, you're taking them. Animals said, take them, take them. So that's why I got these cats. It's not like I wanted anyone in specific. But if I could get one specifically, it would be a serval. Quiet, Silver. Damn sure not a Siamese. And I don't know what kind of dog. If I had a choice for a dog, I'd actually probably want a couple so they could work together. I'd probably get like a Basenji and Hmm. Probably a fourth or fifth generation wolfhound and a Basenji. Hey Finn, what's up? Because Basenjis have a very, very unique fighting style. If you ever, matter of fact, let me find a. Here we go. Okay. I'll give you a little history lesson of these people, this dog breed here. Quiet, Silver. Talking about dogs. I'll get one in here if you don't be quiet. Well, let me go full screen here. Oh, I can't. Let's see. Let's see. Can you see that? Is that a good picture? Here we go. That dog right there, it's an African breed of dog. Oh God, they are awesome dogs. They can climb ladders. They pick their owner, and they are very personal to that person who they pick as their owner. They can climb trees, and how they fight. They can actually take down lions, because how they fight is they're small. They're about a small mid-sized dog, but what they'll do is they'll nip and get a predatorial animal to chase it. And while they're chasing it, this is the unique thing about this dog. It'll jump up in the air and spin its body while in the air, 180, and it'll do the splits on all four, and it'll land flat, very low profile, and the predatorial creature that's chasing it will run right over it, and it grabs its underbelly and rips the guts out. That's how that dog fights. That's kind of sort of why I like that dog. But you'd have to have another dog with that dog to help protect it. Oh, they're very quiet and very well behaved, and they do not like it when you leave them, because they like going with the owner of their choice. So if they bond with you, they're like a suitcase. Take them everywhere. They're like a wallet. But to complement that small animal, you need I would say Doberman Pinscher or a Shepherd, a larger, more predatory dog to help coordinate. Because I wouldn't just get one dog, you'd have to get two. Oh, the Led Zeppelin movie coming out. Those guys are like in their 80s, man. Blue ticks are very, very smart animals. If I think correctly, they're like a golden brown, mid-size. They always keep their head down because they're sniffing at shit, but they don't have the big ears. But that's, you said hound dogs. That might be, I might be thinking the wrong dog. Basset hound would probably go good. The Basenji Basset hound and a Shepherd. Combination of those three, so you have yourself a great hunting pack. any Led Zeppelin documentary movie will be good because they'll have some classic behind the scenes footage of some rock concerts that haven't been seen before, or original tracks, or pieced together, never before heard tracks. Who was that who just did that? It wasn't Kiss. It was another group. A couple of years ago. Who was that? Mike Halen. I think it might have been Eddie Van Halen. They found some tracks of his that he never turned out with Van Halen, and they remixed them and turned them out, or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was several years ago, maybe a decade ago. But the person had been dead, and actually I think it's happened for a couple of musicians. I think actually Patsy Cline might have had some shit come out after she died too, like 30 years after she died. My brain's going crazy now. I can't, because I don't keep up with music. I know Indy keeps up with music more than I do. Maybe she knows. Led Zeppelin has some good music, man. And actually, yeah, I would put them up there with most favorite bands. Not all of their songs, but they definitely got some of my most favorite songs. Yeah, and also I believe Matthew McConaughey on Sweet Home Alabama. I believe he had a basset hound as well. He used to jump, and he had to jump off the end of the pier and swim underwater to the bottom to get its bone. And Matthew would throw off the pier. The basset hound would go diving. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So anything else you guys want to discuss? We got basset hounds going on, or anyone want to come up on panel? You're more than welcome to. Obviously, I invited. Who did I invite? Obviously, I invite Ninja. I invite him every freaking week. And who else? I invited someone else. I think I invited Chris Marcus, but I doubt he'll show up either. See you later, Brant. Till I appreciate you being here, brother. Oh, quick! That's very cool. Interactive. That's follows Disney. Disney started that about 15 years ago. They had this ride, not a ride. It was a amphitheater type thing. And when you sat down, it had like little wishes of air that would go by. If you were watching the movie and a mouse ran down on screen, it would shoot streams of air at your feet, making you think there was a mouse running at your feet. More of like interactive stuff. Yeah, Indy probably just has her computer on and fucking on another tab, dude. She's not listening. She's just supporting, giving me watch hours. I'm surprised James not here. But he's a busy man. It's a busy season for him. He's got to make his music videos, and his dog walking videos, and he actually is picking up lots of clients. So he's a busy beaver. Yeah, I believe it is called 4D. It's interactive, where you'll have seats that shake, little spurts of air. They even will do what do you call it? Odors, aromas, like popcorn smell to get you by popcorn stuff. They're taking it further to where, different scenes make you feel like you're in the scene through the odors, through your olfactory senses, visual factors, and your visual, audio, and sensory. They hit a lot of the sensory systems. Also, once Coke got the go-ahead through Congress to put out their Coke machines that light up as you walk by them. That's not just for energy savings. Those machines actually have computer signals inside them up to a certain radius. They shoot out a signal, a subliminal message hits your brain, the weak-minded people, and it says, buy Coke, buy Coke, buy Coke. So when you walk by a Coke machine that lights up, know that you're getting hit by subliminal signals by a computer inside that Coke machine that is, every time it lights up, it signals to send out that signal to tell you to buy Coke. And if you read the laws, that's why Congress had to okay the law for them to put that Coke machine out, because it does that. It has that technology in it. They're using that technology in new movie theaters as well, along with a lot of other places. Uh-oh, we got some people selling some coins. Now, if you guys want to exchange some information, you can click the link at the top. You don't have to come up stage. You can stay backstage to where you don't even have to come up stage or talk or anything. And they'll have a private chat, and you guys can exchange emails and stuff without the whole chat knowing. Quiet. What are you doing in there? It's like having kids, man. Yeah, I tell you what, man, I like what freaking Kennedy's talking about. They're already telling all the states to take and not allow soda and candy purchases with the food stamp cards. That's going to save us so many trillions of dollars in future medical expenses for people who aren't going to be productive in society. Along with force them to eat better, which will make them healthier. Like I said, got the offer for you guys to be able to exchange personal emails. If you just come hit the invite that's pinned to the top, you go to the backstage. I will not bring you up on stage, and then backstage you can have a private chat and exchange information if you're looking to buy and sell stuff and not put out information in the chat. I'll make you that offer. Yeah, I got too many of those meowsers. Matter of fact, let me show you what one of those little fuckers is doing right now. Hold on here. Ah, shit. Come on. See them right there? I got that window cracked. I bet you if I go out there with that flashlight, I got a flashlight right here. I bet you. Oh, wow. There's Gandalf. Is that Gandalf? No, that's Gandalf, Silver, and Harley. Oh, yeah. Those two don't like each other. You hear it? Watch this. This is all it takes. Watch that one and that one. You already see they're looking at me because this move right here. Now watch them. Watch them. They're going to jump and run. Keep your eye on them, guys. That's how I solve it. That's how easy it is. Logical warfare. I found out they didn't like that sound. I was like, oh. I use that to my advantage. Keep you guys in line. Yeah, actually, Gandalf and Harley, they were the first two born on my front door, and Gandalf, the Russian blue, the total gray one, when he was this little fucking thing, when they were still outside before they were weaned from the mom and I could bring them into safety, he would like hiss at me and scratch at me. Now he's my best buddy. It's funny. Yeah, he's still there. Both of them, you see their silhouettes. That's Harley, or excuse me, yeah, that's Harley, and that's Gandalf, and probably Greyman's outside. And I'll turn the light back on so you can see him. Even though that one light, I'll take that out of the picture. Don't run away, guys. Oh, actually, this is a cool light bulb. I'll show you guys. This light bulb here. You see that button? Watch this. Ah, shit. Oh, shit, it's not working. What the fuck? Well, I wasted my money. Hold on a second. I need to check something out here. Huh. When I bought it, the box said this right here. Supposedly there's a battery in here that when the power goes out, I'm supposed to be able to just push this button and the light bulb comes on, but that's not working. Plus $15. Now see this one here is a different type of light bulb. Comes with a power cord. You plug this into here, plug this in the wall, and this thing charges up, and it's good for about 8 hours. I haven't had it plugged in for a while, but I got like 8 of these because we have brownouts out here because we have such a great government. I also, because we have such a great government out here, I bought a generator that has an inverter because we have solar panels. And if they do a blackout scenario, the solar panels are still getting power, feeding it to the power company. They just cut us off from using the power we're creating, which I think is asinine because the government's supposed to help the people, not hurt them. So I went ahead and augmented the government policy and bought a generator that has an inverter in it so that if they black us out, I can just unhook the wires from the solar panel feeding the power company and plug it into my generator that has the inverter. And during daylight hours, I can plug a couple cords in and get power from my power unit, my solar panels. It's like a redneck way of getting power temporarily during the daytime. It won't hold power because there's a small battery in the generator, but not nearly enough to hold power. But in the daytime, I'll be able to run refrigerator and freezer off of my own solar panels during the blackout scenario because I have a generator that has a built-in inverter that will allow it. So if you do go buying generators and you can't afford a generator that has a huge inverter set, for whole, off-grid solar panel type thing, they do have the smaller generators that have built-in inverters so that you can do the scenario that I just mentioned. We have 11 solar panels on our roof, and that generator's inverter will handle the voltage of those 11 solar panels. So if in a Mad Max scenario, yeah, I'll be better than those guys. How the cats run around in circles. You know, I would, Mike, I wouldn't, unless you already have a solar system and already need the batteries, I would wait 12 months, see what else they come up with or release. I still have the same incandescent light bulbs from 2009. Right on, Jeffro. Yeah, they got a couple of different power sources that are going to be coming out that you might not, I don't know, you might need batteries, but you won't need as much battery. But I mean, look at the whole evolution of the battery. It's really not ecologically sound until we get a better recycling system for batteries. I'll say that. Actually, I saw, and I thought of this years ago too. I saw this. It's a magnetic generator, and what it is it's like a small crankshaft. It's got a couple springs taunted to it, and it's got a wheel on it, and it's got magnets on one end that are set at a certain direction. That once you spin the wheel, the magnets continue the magnetic turn on one end of the wheel, and the springs give the pull up on the crankshaft part of it. Certain springs will expand as the magnetic pressures or the angle of magnetism is pushing, or the rotation of the crankshaft. The springs help it go, spinning the big wheel that has the belt on it to go to an alternator. And it's a magnetic driven system. The springs will give out after a while, so you'd have to replace the springs. But other than that, and the belt, that was a hard word. The belt would give out. Other than that, that thing can run forever. Yeah, the flywheel keeps going. It's rudimentarily small energy generating stuff. But see, now there's this cat in Africa. Gerald knows about him. I haven't done any reports on him because I want to see more of what's going on. Apparently, he's got some shit. Alternative energy system that you can either run a car, a house, or a factory, depending on the size that you want to buy. I'm doing a little bit more research on him, but that sounds very, if it's not bullshit, it sounds very promising. See, those two guys, they're still there. Uh-oh, Silver's back. See that spot? That's the only spot he has other than his two ears and his tail. Who's out there? Might be a raccoon out there too. Oh, how much money do they get for scrap batteries? For dead batteries? I got a couple laying around. Yeah, I think 3. What are you, like $5 a battery or something? Ether energy. Hold on a second, Pete. What you know about ether energy? Oh, they only pay $3 for a battery? Shit, it's not even worth fucking picking it up and putting it in the car. Oh, the African kid who came up with the that new invention, that power source. That's his name, Maxwell. Long ass last name. Chikumbutso. I think that's correct, actually. Chikumbutso. Maxwell Chikumbutso. You got to get the dialectic for the African. It's like saying, what is it? I used to know a couple phrases in Swahili. Oh man, they're eluding me right now. Too much weed. Look, I need to refresh, because when I was going to go to Africa back in 2010, 2011, 2012, I started learning a little Swahili. Right on, Mike. At that point in time, I'd also, I'd depending on the year of the car, I'd ask about the catalytic converter, because you can get up to $1,000 for the catalytic converter on a car. That's most of the recycling of a car. When you sell cars to recycle, most of it's catalytic converter cost. If they don't have a catalytic converter, they won't give you shit for that car. $5 a battery. That's a little better. What state are you in, Jeffro? It probably gives 7 out here. 3 of them's $21. That might be worth it. Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. What are you doing, Ginger? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't be surprised if she jumps in my lap real soon. 10K, yeah, that's for the house size one. Come on. Yeah, he's got to watch out, man. You got to watch out when you come up with shit like that. You start fucking with people who have billions of dollars. And just, are you going to come up here or just going to look at me crazy? Thank you. See, I just gave her snuggle bunnies. My snuggle bunnies. She's my snuggle bunnies. She loves this. Scratches. Ooh, scratch. Oh, Illinois. Yeah, okay. We'll definitely get more money than Illinois pays. So it's probably like $7 a battery out here. Get out of here. See, we're gonna have to get one of those at probably a good house size one. Easily. Maybe 2 house size ones. Come on, slip around, get on Dad's lap. Come on, get up here. You know you want it. Come on. Huh. I'll have to call and see. I think it'll probably be more like 7 in Cali. We have a recycler on Muir Island, they'll take them. I see Harley left. So Silver moved in. I need to see who's over there. I see Silver. I hear you. No kitty cats out there. That's the problem with catalytic converters. A lot of them are stolen. So when you do go to to turn them in as a legitimate individual, you end up getting screwed because of all the criminals out there. Watch out, Jin Jin. Here we go. Get a little bit of light going. So what else you guys want to talk about? I'm gonna pack another bowl. Oh, I'm gonna be seeding plants this year. Might do a video. I doubt it, but I might do a video on the process of what it takes to seed, to get feminine seeds. But I don't know. We'll see. Well, give me your address, Mike. And this year, when they seed out, I'll send you some because I'll have a couple thousand. Because they usually produce a decent amount when I do it. Last time I did it was like 6 years ago. And I've given away shitloads just to get rid of them. I'm a nice guy like that. Just give me your address. I'll mail them to you. But later this year, don't give me your address now because it's going to be a while before they're ready. It'll probably be well, probably be November because see, that makes it difficult. So I got to keep them separate from my other plants and shit. It's going to be harder, but yeah, come November, I'll have it ready. This is my last year out here, so I got to seed anyhow. Make sure I have enough. So when I move, do you want me to do a video to show you guys how to do it? I was going to say it's worth a lot of money if you know how to do it, because you can sell feminized seeds for 12 to 20 bucks a seed. So if you know how to seed and guarantee feminized seeds, that's a skill. Yeah, I might do a little 30-second video, a couple of them, on how I stress it out, and then do a video because, oh man, it happens fast, dude. It'll turn male. You'll have a limb turn male within 6 hours. It'll fully turn male on you like nothing you ever seen. And you need to get rid of it fast, or else your whole crop's fucked. And it's going to be seedy, and you're not going to have any weed to smoke. And quite frankly, most of your seeds will be male. The only ones that will be female are the two plants that you're dealing with. Yeah, actually. I actually developed, well, shit, you've seen the buds. I developed that. It took about 5 years, but I crossbred and then rebred seeding, because the way you're supposed to technically do it, and this is why I can guarantee my seeds are female, is because you have to, when I crossbred what I wanted for my personal self, which is I took two species and I put them together, seeded them, and then I grew 5, seeding each one, guaranteed. It's like a first, second, third, fourth, and fifth generation. It's like they got another name for it, but you do it 5 times. On the 5th time, if you get the same plant, same characteristics, same plant, then you've got a new species. And that's where, out of the blue, all of a sudden, about 15 years ago, it went from just there's an indica and sativa to, oh my God, there's so many types of names of shit. That's because everyone started making their own and crossbreeding, because that system got out on how to crossbreed. I was part of the origination of that here in California, which is obviously the world leader for that. Where the the hell did I have that book? Here. Oh, yeah. Here it is right here. I believe I've shown you guys this before. Grass. And have you ever heard of the weed Jack Herrera, white rhino, angel, wedding cake? That's Jack. My buddy Jack. And yes, that is crayon. Because we got so fucking stoned. And there was crayons laying around. He just came, this book just got out, and he got a delivery to his house to send out to distributors. And he gave everyone there, there's like 5 of us there. He gave us one of his coloring books each. And I told him we were sitting around the table smoking a joint. And there was a lot of fucking crayons on the table. Because he had like his nieces or something over. And I said, Mike, or Jack, sign this motherfucker with all these crayons. And those are the different colors, the crayons that were on the table. So he signed it, love and color, and he did Jack Herrera twice. I don't think I've ever colored in it. I've never even read it. It's actually a story. I've never even read it. Interesting book. Ooh, yeah. There we go. What's up, Southeast Wolverine? I got more books too on that shit. I got books on how to make hash and other extracts. Why would they steal your lighter fluid? They crackheads? Only crackheads would steal lighter fluid. Actually, no, they wouldn't. They'd be too stupid to steal lighter fluid. I'd rather front run it. Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. Oh, for your grill. That does get stolen by neighbors. That and charcoal itself. Both are snatch items from neighbors. They want a grill. Yeah. Yeah. Lighter fluid, baby. Actually, lighter fluid. More like this one here. Let's use this. Lighter fluid. I don't have none of that shit. Although once I get my house, I have all of that shit. What's up, Mary? I'm a bad host. I run a crappy YouTube show. Sorry about that, guys. Need some more entertainment. What do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about who's talking about space mining? Donald Trump. For all you people who thought I was crazy about talking about space mining, it actually came out of the president's mouth. Front runner. There's so many things coming that I know about. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but it's all good. I like the 2025 gold. Free shit. Shit I'm going to get out of the ground. And then I'm going to make some jewelry with it. And if it's a $3,000 an ounce, I'm going to get $9,000 an ounce. Because that kind of thing happens when you turn precious metals into jewelry, like 1 to 500% increase in price. Yeah, but if you take a steel small water jug and you take some cherry wood and you soak it in that little container and you stick it underneath your fire, you'll get that cherry taste to your every piece of meat you have that you're barbecuing. I don't know if you can do that with the gas or for electric start or gas style. You might be able to. I've never seen it done, so I don't know. I'm not saying it can't be done. Thank you. Pull your money out of there, girl. What credit union? Don't tell me it's Navy Federal. And keep as little money in the bank as possible. I've seen lots of internet glitches. I'm thinking we're getting shifted over to a new system, and no one's telling us about it. But that's just my conspiracy. That or my TV's going out. But I don't think it's the latter. It could be. There's lots of possibilities. Oh, Midwest. Okay. Ooh. So you've got a direct deposit. Well, I have a direct pay of everything at the same day that it's supposed to drop, or the day after it's supposed to drop. So they only have 1 day to hold your money before it's mostly on a prepaid schedule leaving. And make sure to hit the bank the day that it hits if you know you're going to have any extra money left over after those automatic pay bills, and pull the cash out. That way they'll only have the money for about 2 days out of 30. So they'll only have a 1/15 of a chance of taking all of your shit. No, there's not going to be a CDBC. I mean, people want it. They keep saying it. So I think everybody wants one, but I don't think there's going to be one. You have too many contradictory economic theories and principles going on with CDBC. And a CDBC is contradictory to the Fed coin that the Feds are actually creating to put out. So you have 3 contradictory things for there to be a CDBC. For there to be a CDBC, the federal government has to have been wasting their time coming up with FedCoin. And I know they've been coming up with it because they signed a contract with Algo and XLM 4 or 5 years ago to develop a FedCoin. So the Treasury Department is coming up with a FedCoin. So why would they come up with a CDBC if they're coming up with a FedCoin? There's one problem. Second problem is Federal Reserve of cryptocurrency. A new Federal Reserve of cryptocurrency. That's anti-CDBC. That means we're looking to pay off the debt, which means we're not going CDBC. Third thing about CDBCs that people don't seem to know about is to have a CDBC, you have to have a dictatorship because it goes against the Constitution and the free economic system. Because Congress already passed a bill that no CDBC can be used for retail because it goes against the fundamentals of the Constitution of the United States and money, because only the Treasury Department or I think the Treasury Department or Congress can okay who produces or makes money. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of alerts here on my computer. I'm going to have to check out, and on my phone. No, see, here's a fourth thing about CDBCs. And I know people want to be slaves. I understand everyone wants to be a slave, you know. Okay, so what a CDBC is it's a superseding of politics. Because once you get rid of your currency, you get rid of your sovereignty. When you get rid of your sovereignty, you're a slave. And slaves on a CDBC level are also politicians. And politicians don't want to be slaves. And yeah, you're going to come up with a scenario where politicians don't have to use a CDBC. Now we have a two-money system. How the fuck are we going to operate on a two-money system in a worldwide system of exchanges? Because now here's another problem with CDBC. It can only be an American CDBC. So how are we going to get shit from other countries? Now you're talking about a two fucking monetary system. We can't even operate a one monetary system. How the hell are we going to operate a two monetary system? It's too complicated, bro. No, FedCoin is not CDBC. You can call it that, but it's not. What's happening is we're going to a digital economy. Now, if you want to misrepresent the CDBC as a digital dollar, okay, but a CDBC is not a digital dollar. A digital dollar is actually produced, put out, accounted for. Only so many of them can be produced. They're used. You can freely spend it however you want, not controlled to where they tell you how you can spend it, but trackable, but not controllable. A CDBC is controllable. They'll tell you what you can buy, when you can buy it, and what you can buy, and when you can buy it. That's the loss of sovereignty. I've been doing shows on West Africa. There are several countries in Africa that say they will not have a CDBC because they're tired of being slaves. And they use that word. The leaders of these countries use that word. They want sovereignty and freedom. And that means no CDBC, because to have a CDBC gives up their sovereignty and they don't want to be slaves anymore. They're kicking France out. 13 countries are kicking the ECOWAS franc out of their country to come up with their own currency because they don't want to be slaves economically. What CDBC is it's economic slavery, and they know it. They've got 20% of the gold. So now you have a CDBC in America because we really want a CDBC. How are we going to buy that gold? Because they don't want our CDBC. Wow. As soon as you can answer that question for me, I'll consider that there might be a CDBC. But for there to be a CDBC, 187 countries have to agree on it. Hold on. So you're saying all of BRICS has to agree with all of America? Well, why are they coming up with BRICS if they want to agree with us? Kind of anti-intuitive, counterintuitive thought process there on the whole wasting money to come up with the BRICS if we're all going to be kumbaya and have a CDBC worldwide, because CDBC in one country never works. They've tried it in Nigeria 3 times. They made a law in Nigeria stating you had to use the CDBC. 0.05% of their population used it, and they told the government, fuck themselves. But hey, if you want a CDBC and you think we're going to have one, Dream on, baby. Dream on. Check your facts, though, because it hasn't worked yet in any fucking experiment they've tried anywhere in the world. And they have tried it several times in several countries. Nigeria 3 times. Fail, 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 fail. Not one success. But yeah, we're going to have one. It's going to be real successful. Okay, I agree. We're going to have one. But in reality, we're not. Okay, so let's get off that discussion and let's get back to reality and check the facts, the real facts. Not speculation, not fears, not theories, not FUD, but facts. They've tried CDBC. It's not going to work. Africa will not accept it. That's 57 of 187 countries on this planet that will not accept it. And we haven't started to talk about the 27 countries that are in BRICS that don't want to work with America. So now you're looking about over 100 countries that don't want to work with America on a financial system, but yet we're going to have a worldwide CDBC. Or it's just going to be American CDBC, in which case we're going to have the 2 economic system. So in which case there is an American CDBC, you can have it. I'll be on the other side of the economic system. I'll be the American that doesn't have the CDBC, because I'll have to interact with other countries to bring you your goods, and I'll accept your CDBC. And the government will give me gold for accepting your CDBC. So I'll be in the secondary economy that you so desperately desire if you want a CDBC or pretend that there might be one. Because if there is one, and it's only in America, that means none of our trading partners are going to accept it. So we're going to have another economic system where certain businesses have access to that secondary economic system to do international trade. Kind of gets complicated when you think about it, huh? Yeah, that's why we're not going to have a CDBC. Right off the bat. We will have a Fed coin, though, a federal digital currency with a dollar, physical dollar, new dollar to back it. They're going to come out at the same time because the fiat dollar was temporary. 2% times 50 is 100. So someone's making a lot of money off the dollar and convincing you guys you're only at 2 to 4%, 6% inflation. Yeah. Put a 1 and a 0 in front of that, because you're at 106% inflation. Facts are facts. They've got you off mentally fucked up with words or something. I don't know. Oh God! Don't even go there, Mary. Oh, don't go frack. No, quantum. No. We don't. No. People don't understand that one yet. We're not ready for a quantum financial system. Way too much stuff will happen because of the lack of understanding of how that works. It is way too complicated of a system. A successful financial system cannot be complicated. It has to be easily understood by every individual. But then again, we're stupid, so that might not be the actual facts. But if they do come up with something that's not easily recognizable by everybody, it won't last. It'll be one of those bad money, good money scenarios. We don't have a realistic quantum financial system. It might be using the word quantum financial system, but it's not. We don't even have actual quantum computing technology that's permanent. That you can go out and buy a quantum computer and start using it type thing. It might be like in the 50s when your first computer had a fucking full high rise of fucking servers for one computer. That quantum computer we do have. One or two of those, but that's not an economic system. That's exploratory. That's experimental. Stellar. Now, as far as transfer systems, I do know they've looked at laser technology, and they do have a way that you can transfer information on a laser, and you can laser from one, hit a satellite and down, and it's faster than computing. But I don't know the security of that. And also there's other, in that type system, you'd have to wear solar storms, meteor showers, radiation differentials, all this other stuff, configuration of satellites. So there's lots of other things for as far as the laser. But stellar, I've never heard of stellar. What about stellar? Never heard of a stellar. But I do know that they're trying quantum shit, but they've only got like 2 or 3 computers in America for quantum. Oh, XLM's the one. XLM and Algo signed contracts with the federal department to come up with FedCoin. That's if you keep up, if you do if you do your own research and you do fundamental research on XLM and Algo, you will find out 4.5, 5 years ago, they signed a contract with the Treasury Department. It's documented. If you do your research, you can find this information out. And then you'll be like, holy shit, they signed a contract with the fucking Treasury Department. First question that'll come to your mind is, doesn't that make them not a cryptocurrency? Because they're actually heavily regulated. Because they actually have a contract with the Treasury Department, one of the most regulated departments in the government. And it's a cryptocurrency, decentralized cryptocurrency. No, it's not. It's a highly regulated government fucking company. So if it's still a cryptocurrency, it's solid. You got the best of both worlds with XLM and Algo. It's guaranteed it'll make it through the halving and maintain its value. It'll go up with the halvings and come back down at a higher level than when it started. And you will be able to make money when on the up before it comes back down to the higher level than the original level. But it's gonna stay. XLM and Algo's gonna stay. Stellar Lumens. Yeah, Stellar Lumens is XLM. Hey, what's up, Mark? Hold on, let me see. How's it going? I need to do a live check to find out how it's going. Going good. There we go. Ledger Nano X. I'll be buying crypto here very shortly. And better than that, I have Faraday bag. And I say store it on like a ledger. Well, not only am I going to store it on the ledger, I'm going to stick it in a Faraday bag on top of that. So that way no one can steal that shit. No electronic signals get through. Here's one of those lights I was talking about. It's a UVC plug-in. Just hang it up. I have, like I said, I have about 8 of these for power outages. Yeah, it's a Ledger Nano X. Dixie just got freaked out. But yeah, let's see. Fucking sweet, bro. Sweet. I'm so glad. I actually followed the North Carolina case in North Carolina that made it legal. Oh my God, it was such a disturbing video of this court case. Lady was getting sued because she was giving her daughter a CDBC from Charlotte's Web. It's a cannabinoid plant. It's not a THC. It's not a weed. It is a weed plant, but it's a CDBC type. It's the only CDBC seed that you can get here in America that grows And you get the chemical CDBC from. This lady's daughter had like an average of 100 seizures an hour. And she was in front of the state representatives and shit, and her daughter had a horrible seizure, and they got it on tape. I watched tape. It was sick. But luckily, those damn fucking representatives who wanted to make it illegal sat there as the lady was trying to save her daughter, saying, see what I have to do because you want to change the law and not give me the opportunity to save her life every hour. And you should see the looks on his next bill they passed. They made it legal, and it's been taken off. And it's a good thing. More people need to know about Charlotte's Web. I'm so glad that you're getting advantages of it, because it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. Tell everybody you know. I'm sure you know other people. You're in a network of people that have children that need that. Let them know too, man. So that's what this whole channel is about. It's about people spreading information. I'm hoping one day here shortly, since we have this new guy in charge of the health department, that we might be able to come up with some cures for shit like this, because he's asking all the right questions. Why are my nephews have food allergies when none of them in my family had food allergies till that generation? He's starting to ask the right questions, and we might start getting some freaking changes going so that these kids don't have this bullshit that they're being given, whether it's through vaccines, food, or whatever your speculation is. It can be ended. We just need to have the balls and the leadership to end it, in my opinion. And I've done a lot of research. I'm very glad it helped you, brother. Very, very glad. Make sure to keep a lot on hand too. You can actually grow it. And actually, I don't know if you can get a hold of it. Israel has, and I don't recall the name of the plant right now, but Israel has a higher CDB count plant, but they really are regulating that seed of that plant and not letting it out of the country of Israel. But it's better than Charlotte's Web. But you can actually grow Charlotte's Web yourself and extract it to where you can not have to rely on retail or spend your money on it. And you can get set up for that if you want to go that direction. Mike could even set up a company. It's as soon as Trump completes his first campaign promise of making medical marijuana nationally legal, Charlotte's Web is going to be a thing. That's Dixie right there, the black and white one. Dixie, Silver, and Gandalf. Yeah, I'm glad it did you some good. And I hope everyone spreads the word. If you know anyone that does have seizures, Charlotte's Web, CDBCs. CDB. Sorry for the silence. Can't talk while I'm holding it in. Well, I can, but I'll cough like a motherfucker. Like this. Didn't talk while holding it in. Oh yeah, fuck the hospital. I can tell you some shit about the hospitals you don't want to know. It'll freak you out. Yeah, you don't need to trust them. They don't know what they're. I don't want to say they don't know what they're talking about. They have to follow the rules and regulations, and the rules and regulations haven't caught up with reality. So they're following shit that hasn't caught up with reality, and that's some real day shit. And you can't be trusting people that aren't leading the way in the information field on that, on seizures. It's just the medical fields failed us on that one for sure. Yeah, pretty much, Pete. You go there if you've got a limb that's like the blood's shooting out and you got to have surgery, then you go to the doctor. Otherwise, watch what you stick in here, because that's where your health starts, right here. What you eat. It'll determine if you get cancer, diabetes, all kinds of cool shit. Or it'll determine if you live a long, healthy life. Yeah, sure, you might get some shit. If you go to work and you work around asbestos, yeah, you're probably going to get cancer, obviously. But other than those scenarios, dude, what you stick in your mouth is how it's your health. That is your health. If you want to eat McDonald's, hey, you want to know why we have a shoot up in diabetes and child diabetes and type 2? Now we're making a new one, type 3. We're inventing a new disease so they can make money off of it. I've seen it in my lifetime. Here's another trick for you guys. It's not a trick. It's actually just a health thing. Oh my God, I hope I don't get straight for this. 5 years ago, they changed cholesterol numbers, what they determined to be high and low, because they weren't making enough money on the cholesterol medications, so they needed more people on them. Sorry, guys, I'm going to turn the light on. It's going to fuck with y'all. Hold on a sec. All right. God, this stream might be ending. Okay. So for all you people that are here, all 8 of you that are here, remember this in case the WHO cuts me off real quick. Okay. If you want to get off high blood pressure and high cholesterol medication, that gets you off high blood pressure and high blood pressure and high cholesterol medication. And what I mean is I take honey and cinnamon. I take the cinnamon and I grind the cinnamon up and I put it in my tea. If you do copious amounts of cinnamon and honey, it will lower your blood pressure and your cholesterol. I'm fixing to be 57 years old. Everyone in my family had high blood pressure pills and cholesterol pills. I don't. They say it's hereditary. I guess I'm an anomaly. Or cinnamon and honey actually do lower high cholesterol and blood pressure. And another one. If you want to pull heavy metals out of your body as much so as possible without going through a big fucking magnet and having it pulled out through your pores, Epsom salt and baking soda in a hot bath for about 15, 20 minutes consecutively, it actually pulls heavy metals out of your body. Aluminum, heavy metal in your body, is known to cause Alzheimer's disease. So you want to get the aluminums out of your body and other heavy metals because it fucks with your head. It gives you diseases as you get older. If you take Epsom salt and baking soda baths, hot baths, it pulls those out of your body. Or you spend a couple $1 million and sit there and go, who are you? Who are you? Your choice. And the couple $1 million is because your kids ain't going to put up with that stupid shit for long before they put you in a home, and it's going to cost money. So, yeah, your call. Shoo, 56. I'll be 57 April 24th. And boom, check that out. Yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim, baby. See the side? Oh, I got ripples, baby. Sorry, I had to do it. I like my body. I take care of it. I smoke cigarettes, so the lungs are probably kind of, heart's kind of fucked up. Yeah, you can take care of yourself. Like, here's Here's a great exercise you can do at the house. You see how I'm, let's put that there. You see how I'm sitting right here, like that? Do this number. Just do this. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Next time you do it, it's going to hurt, but you're going to go for 20 seconds longer. Third time you do it, it's going to hurt. You're going to go 20 seconds longer until you can sit here for a minute. No redness, no sweating. Just squatted 150 pounds and held it for 30 seconds. You do that at the gym? This is one of many exercises you can do at your house. Here's another. Here's another one if you're sitting at your computer. Just hold your legs out. Works the whole core. And then twist. You'll be surprised the pain you feel in the center section here while sitting. And then you got calf exercises you can do. People just don't think. For you people who have 8-hour office jobs and say, well, I got to pay $200 for gym membership. No, you don't. You got to learn how to think. What's up, Joseph? Just use your mind. God gave it to you. Use it. I think the best thing you could ever do, question. Someone says, go right. Why should I go right? What's to the right? What's to the left? Why can't I go straight? Why can't I stay here so it's go wrong? Get information. Because when you question, you get information. Information is knowledge. Could be trivial. One day it could be helpful. I watched an 1.5-hour documentary on brake lights and traffic and how it affects traffic. And I was able to do an experiment where I drove from San Jose to Vallejo, and I only had to use, and during rush hour traffic, which is about 7 million people on the road, and I only had to use my brakes like 5 times in rush hour traffic because I watched the driving patterns, because I watched that documentary, and I learned how to watch brake patterns in traffic half-mile in advance if you have the leeway to visual to do that, or as far in advance as possible to be able to navigate which lanes to be in. And it actually worked, and I would have never learned that information had I not watched that boring ass 1.5 hour documentary on the effects of brake lights in traffic. Who would have known? Oh my God, it's so, dude. Okay. They offered me a job. Okay. I've had a couple job offers, but I told them to fuck themselves. I live in the North Bay. Okay, you have the Bay Area. You have North Bay and South Bay. It's like 55 miles. In between the North Bay and the South Bay is probably 6 million people that are all going to work at the same time you're going to work. So that 55 miles takes 2 to 3 hours. One way and the other. So you're going to put in 14-hour day for 8-hour pay because of traffic. So when they offer me jobs in San Jose, I tell them, go fuck yourself. I'm not putting in no 14-hour day for 8-hour pay. Fuck that. That's selling myself short. That means I'm getting half my paycheck for the hours worth. And I'm selling myself, my labor short. No, I'm worth more than that. I'm worth a hell of a lot more than that. Now they're getting me a job. I'm going to be in Napa, which is a reverse commute. If you know anything about commuting, reverse commutes are the best. That means if like 72 billion people are going this way into a city and you're like right here and you don't want to go into the city, well, the other side going away. So when they're all coming in the morning, if you're going that way, and then at night they're going this way and you're going this way, it's called reverse commute. Saves hours. And anyhow, Napa is just like 20 minutes north max driving. I'm going to have a job up there probably for 2 to 3 months. Yeah, we have mountains too. Sometimes they work for you, sometimes they work against you, depending on the time of day. Driving into like the was it the Snow Pass or the Grapevine. You go up, and then there's a point where you're going up, and boom, if it's at end of the day when the sun's in the west, boom, the sun is in your face for like a mile as you're going up this fucking road. It's a highway 680. But in the morning, it's okay because the sun's on the other side of you, and it's like no big deal, other than like 6 million other cars on the road. But I don't do that anymore. I don't drive no more. I don't do that. Fuck that shit. It's not worth it. I'll go as far as like Oakland, which is like 20 miles south, and it still takes like 45 minutes to get there and about 45 minutes to get home. So you're like almost 2 hours extra of my time. So I'll be putting in 10 hours for an 8-hour day. That's more reasonable. Napa I like better because I'll be putting in like 8 hours and 40 minutes for an 8-hour day. You see the time difference? I save an hour and 20 minutes depending on where I work of my life. I'm not getting paid. Sitting in traffic with congestion and fucking smog and fucking everything else. That's why I don't carry. Road rage is real. It's very. In my time here in the Bay Area, off the top of my head, I can think of 3 times where I've told a cop off and he went because he knew he was wrong, and I got in his face because he tried to pull me over some stupid shit. So I pulled over. Fucking, I gave him the riot act 3 different times in the 30 years I've been here. I know. I can tell stories where a cop fucking went away with his tail between his legs. What's up, Diabolical? You missed a good part of the show, girl. I was giving secrets to the universe. How to turn gold into how to turn hay into gold using a fucking foot-pedaled sewing machine. I found the fucking book. What's that fable? That kid's story where that guy he uses a sewing machine to make gold. I remember some kid's story about that. Did y'all see my 30-second short? I bet y'all didn't. I'll show it. Woo! Some good ass shit. All right, here. Hold on a second. I need to get share screen. Percent, share screen, share screen. Bingo. I can't get in any bigger than this, but oh, no sound. Where's the sound? Anyhow, there's a trichomes on the plant. I know it's hard as hell to see. Sorry, I can't make it bigger. All those little round things on the leaves. Fucker's loaded with trichomes. See every leaf, no matter how I scope in, it's just loaded with trichomes. There's not one part of that plant that's not freaking, that's stoner shit. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool shit, man. Pretty cool shit. Oh, shit. Sorry. I don't want to see my leg. This isn't Nickel Stacking's channel. Sorry, Nickel. I had to make fun of you, though. Yes, it is cilantro. It's California cilantro. It's Niels Han Dynasty cilantro. It goes good with Italian food, actually. It goes good with butter. It goes good with honey. It goes good with a lot of things, pretty much. A lot of things. Matter of fact, I can't think of too much that it doesn't go good with. It goes good with chocolate. Here, I'll prove that one. I'm smoking weed. I'm gonna eat some chocolate. And because I'm a bachelor, I don't have no lady here. You see that whole big old handful? Ooh, I'm gonna eat them all. Because why? Because I'm stoned. And I can. I'm a big supporter of chocolate. That's right, Silver. Big supporter of chocolate. Because see, here's something that not too many people know this, guys. This is a little secret. Without chocolate, humanity dies. You want to know how I know? The dinosaurs didn't have any chocolate. And look what happened to them. Yeah, that and weed. They didn't have weed either. They'd have been eating weed, they might have lived. Because then they'd gotten chocolate. Because if you get weed, you get stoned, you want chocolate. And you don't want to go eat your neighbor. See, they didn't have weed and chocolate, so they ate each other to death. End of the dinosaur. Is that a world war cemetery, Diabolical? It's got that many. Gosh, dog, sure hope it is. Over 600 acres. Yeah, it would have to be American soldiers, probably from the World War II, and along with Australia, New Zealand, and English soldiers throughout all the islands, because you don't want to bury those bodies on an island. And you fucked up. Someone come by 6 years later, dig it up, wonder what the fuck. What's this body doing here? Same thing happened. Oh, what is it? Oh, so it's like, oh, so it's an old cemetery then. It's like a 200-year-old cemetery, 300-year-old cemetery. One of the first original cemeteries. 1 million people is a lot. There's like 10 cities of Vallejo. We have like about 100,000 people in this city. I bet a lot of them died from scorpion and snake bites. Australia's full of dangerous little critters, man. And then the anomaly, then you got New Zealand right across the little fucking bay that has absolutely zero indigenous killing species. It's kind of weird. Well, they got the great white, kind of, sort of. Oh, okay. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. I see now. Made it a popular cemetery. People wanted to be buried there. By the way, the Hershey's Kisses have stars and stripes. Even though it's not 4th of July. Whatever. Didn't do it for the wrapper. So, what else you guys want to talk about? Cocoa beans are difficult to process. You know, the cocoa plant's going extinct if we don't, and this is stupid. That's what they say. It's actually not going to, because someone's smart. If someone else doesn't do it, I'll do it. Cocoa beans not going. They say the cocoa beans going to be put on the endangered plant species list, but that'll change. Oh, I believe you, girl. Sorry, I got 2 Hershey's Kisses in my mouth. What, Silver? He's a big old baby. Come here. Come here. Meow. Meow. Come here, you. You big old baby. Stay put. You stay put. Got Ted back right now. Next year will be better. This guy's got his eyes closed. Just, you happy now? You happy now? Actually, Gerald, believe it or not, get down, Silver. I have a medical reason to do one of 2 things. Oh, all my cats love me, girl. I'm hypoglycemic, which is the exact opposite of a diabetic. I can't give blood because if I give blood, I'll have low blood and I'll start passing out. It's happened twice in my life. It's a binocular vision. It just starts going till I'm 100% blind. Can't see. Show me. Just like close your eyes. You'd be like, I go blind when I give blood. So I have to have sugar or protein. So I have to eat meat or I have to eat sugar to help regulate my system. Isn't that cool? Doctor told me so. Yeah, baby. Seeing I'm hyperactive. Hyperactive, hypoglycemic, and manic. Whoa! You want to know why I'm single? I have to eat sugar or keep protein around in my body. And because I'm already hyperactive, if I eat sugar, that ramps up. And you should see what's going on in my manic mind. Being smart's not all it's cracked up to be. It's a give and take. Good night, Mary. You have a great day. Be safe and take care of all your puppies. Yes, it is. And I'm not saying it's not going to get bad. I'm positive that it's going to get better by the end of the year. And if you're positioned properly, it won't be a big deal. But you have to be positioned properly. And by that I mean you got to keep in mind what has been said, what has to be done, what will be done off of what's been said, and then invest appropriately. And if you do that and you've stayed informed over the past couple of years of what's been going on, you should have a pretty good idea of what to invest in and where to invest. I guess, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Meow. Oh, there's my Chloe. Chloe finally came out. But yeah, position yourself properly. If you position yourself properly, you'll be fine. Everyone's looking at crypto right now, and crypto's running. That's a good thing. There's at least 3 stocks out there that I'd be buying right now. Stocks before the crash. Buy them during the crash and after the crash. Doesn't matter. They're real cheap now anyhow. And they'll make it through the crash because they made it through the last one and they were just as cheap. They're real good deals, in my opinion. Hey. So that way when the crash comes, certain things will happen because, okay, here's a scenario that I see that could possibly play out. We do go into some sort of a mini hard recession, a fast one, but hard one. He legalizes medical marijuana. Boom. Certain stocks are going to take off during bad times. If you're invested in those, you'll do great during bad times. There are other things you can look at that are going to happen during these bad times. Invest appropriately, and you'll do good during bad times, which means you're not going to have bad times. That's why I'm happy and positive. And I want so many people to come along with me. I'm like Ninja. I want a whole bunch of people to come along with me because it's available there. There you go, Debbie. Yes, definitely. Everyone put your own stuff out there. Definitely promote yourself. You are all moderators and can all do so. And also you can click on each other's names and get access to each other's channels so you can subscribe easier as a moderator. It opens up that access. There's Chloe. That's my little darling sweetheart. Cleo. And her sister is somewhere around in the other room. Her name is also Silver, but in Spanish, Platina. Man, it's great to be at the top. It sucks ass to be there alone. It's that simple. Help everybody out. You know, be kind, helpful, and grateful. Get to the top. Well, as the cream rises, grab some people and bring them up with you. Because it's better at the top, the more people we have there. It's lonelier, the less people. So yeah, share information. If you can't take advantage of it, don't be a dick or jerk. Share it. Let other people take advantage of it. They might be kind, helpful, and grateful and return the favor one day. Or they might profit and say, hey, I got some extra because you told me about it, so I bought this for you. And then they'll out of the blue give you because they took advantage of it, you know, whatever. But don't hold back on information that can do positive things for other people if you can't take advantage of it. Or like the example of the CDBC, the Charlotte's Web, or the NNE stock, or the Rolls-Royce stock, or the other picks that I've given that other people have taken advantage of. I'm happy they got to take advantage of them and they prospered. I hope they do the right thing with that money. Not my concern, though. I do what I do out of good. I can't guarantee an outcome of good. And I'm not judged by the outcome. So why wouldn't it be good? There's so many benefits to it. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion, but I'm weird, so whatever. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. Share information. Be kind, helpful, grateful. It makes me happier to know that other people are benefiting from information I give, like the gentleman who was here, Mark, earlier, with his daughter who has seizures. Unfortunately, she has seizures. But I had mentioned to him a long while ago, about CDBC, Charlotte's Web, and to check into it, and he did. He did his own research. Do your own research. I'm just a fool on your screen. I'm just some idiot talking. But if I sound cool and you like what I say, check it out yourself. Mark K did so. And then he gave it to his daughter, and he received instant gratification for doing so because it helped his daughter. I've never met her, don't know who she is, but I'm glad that the information I was able to get through her family, and they would take advantage of it, help her out. Because you know what? That got me 2 more silver coins in heaven. Those ones are hard to buy. You know how to buy them? Help others. That's how you buy currency in heaven. No one thought about that currency, huh? And I don't know what the trade rate is, so I'm just throwing the number out there. I might have actually got a gold coin. Who knows? But the payment comes later, is the principle. And health is wealth, yes, most definitely. Oh, yeah. I'm in holistic medicine. Holistic and natural medicine. That's what I'm into. Natural medicine is basically what you stick in your mouth and the effects of that on your body. Eating certain foods, raising your pH or lowering your pH to help or prevent things from happening naturally in your body. Things you can naturally do by consumption, what you consume. That's natural medicine. Holistic medicine would be more like, I guess, pressure points. And knowing that when someone is talking to you and they're doing this number here, the hands. And I know you've probably seen someone on TV doing this. They'll stand and they'll talk to you like this. You've probably seen a lot of people do this. Research it. I'll stop. Knowledge is power. Do some research. There's also other things. There's this one and this one. I think this one. There's a couple more, and then and this one. Depends on what what's the word? Historical reference to signals you're using as what someone talking to you while they're standing like this and talking to you means. But I know you've seen people do it on TV here this year, this month. Someone will be talking, they'll be talking to you and they're standing like this and they have a black jacket. They make it obvious if you know what you're looking for. Can anyone put in chat who you might have seen? I'm gonna put some milk in my tea. Who you might have seen on TV talking who's standing there talking like this. I want to make my boat. I was looking at boats, actually, Sailing Parlay Revival. Today's show, he is live streaming it this week. They highlighted 10 catamarans at a catamaran show he was at, and they went from 800,000 to I think $3 million. You need to check that out, Gerald. For price range, the catamarans I'm doing might be a little more expensive. Who's growling? I got a kick-ass catamaran design. Zero carbon emissions, no sail catamaran design. The sailless catamaran. It's badass. I also found out there is a South African catamaran builder and a Vietnamese catamaran builder. A company, you take your design your boat to them and they'll build it in case it's too expensive to be built here in America. Wow, that's hot. Ouch. Damn, girl, 1 million for feet. I guess if you want to live in a city, you're going to pay because, well, you're in a city and several under 100,000 people want to live in a small square footage, so you pay for it. It's supply and demand. Square footage goes up, the more populated the area. But if you want to experience cool green climates, obviously you're talking about not wanting to live in a city because a city environment is totally different from the external climate environment of the region of the country that it's in. So you might want to check out northern Alabama because it's just like Tennessee. It's just like Georgia. It's just called Alabama. Same mountains, same temperatures, snow in wintertime, springs kick ass. Yeah, I hate cities too. I call a big town 10,000 people. Why do you want to live in Newcastle? Mountains? I'd stay away from New York. I'd stay out of the whole state and California as well. I would suggest to everybody, Mike, Newcastle sounds like it'd be a mountainous kind of area. Might I suggest, like you said, it's super expensive. They have in northwest Georgia, right underneath Chattanooga, Tennessee. Right on, Joe. I'm just saying, man. There's this place called Lookout Mountain. It's kind of expensive. It's like Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. Lookout Mountain's right here. Alabama's right here. Tennessee's right here with Chattanooga. This area here of Georgia, very, very expensive. It's called Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain's also in Alabama. And it's about 80% cheaper. Just saying. Just as close to Chattanooga. Yes, you were told correctly, Diabolical. You know, I first got out to the Bay Area in 1996. Nash Bridges was still a show on TV. And I watched it. And I told myself one of the many things I wanted to do was every week his show came out, I would go to that area of San Francisco or Oakland or Marin or Berkeley, wherever they did their, the Presidio, wherever they did their show that week. I told myself I'd go there and I'd smoke pot. And I did. And I smoked pot in most every fucking spot in San Francisco. And it used to be cool. I don't even go there now. You couldn't pay me to go there. Yeah, I wouldn't go to LA at all. I went to LA one time in the 30 years I've been out here, and that was because this dude I knew took advantage of my second cousin's husband, and for a couple $1,000 to get a car, and he took off, didn't pay him, and I bought a one-way ticket. This is how fucking stupid I am. I bought a one-way ticket to LA, and I went and I plotted myself down in front of his fiance's house. I called him, and she let me inside, and I spent the night on the couch. And I called him and told him, I said, you're going to bring the keys to the car, and they're going to be here when I wake up, or else I'm going to come find you. So I woke up the next morning. I was sleeping on her couch, and the keys to the car were in the mailbox. And I hopped in the car, and I drove back up here. I knew I was going to get the car. My skinny little ass. He was a lot bigger than me. He was a pretty muscular guy. He was scared fuckless of me, though, for good reason. He knew. He was so scared of me knowing that I just showed up in that town with a one-way ticket, not to leave, but just to get to that town, because he knew I was going to be driving away with that car. He brought me the keys. It is a tent city. They're mostly probably south of the border people. I go 3 or 4 blocks down the road that I live on. I live at the top of the hill. I can actually go out the road and look down there. There's about 8 or 10 rinkety-dinky RVs. Once a month, the cops come around, tag them, haul them off. If I keep going down 4 more blocks past that, the old post office that they tore down and made a parking lot, there's more homeless people and living in tents right there before I get to the ferry building. This town only has 110, maybe 1,000 people in it. We have probably 2% of that's homeless. About 2,000 or 3,000 homeless people in this city. It's kind of sad. I don't know, you don't know what you're going to do about it. It was very much a different world back then, Gerald. We were still growing the government or the economy back then. And we didn't have 450 agencies watching our ass. That's why we don't have any freedoms now. We had more freedoms back then because we didn't have nearly the number of agencies as we do now. Well, that's the thing. See, Debbie, that's what you know. That's what, see, this people don't ask the right questions. But luckily, we have the smart people in charge of the money. I mean, they've been fleecing us for years. They know how to do it. And and I've discovered this. And if you do your own research, you'll discover it too. We're not going to be a cashless society. We will have a digital currency, but side by side, America will have a Fed coin digital currency, but we're also going to have a physical bill to go along with that because of the homeless population and other scenarios like that. A scenario like this phone I have here. I cannot take a picture of a UPC code and have it tell me anything because it's not a high quality phone. So even with this phone, I can't do a digital economy with this phone. Even though I bought this phone, I have this phone. Homeless people have this phone, right? But they don't have the Apple $1,000 phone that you can actually participate in the economy. And to have an economy, the more people participate, the better the economy. The less people participate, the less chance you'll have an economy. So you got to think about that. And if they do come up with a cashless society, then it's not going to last because it's not a good system unless you've made sure everyone has access. And as long as you have phones that don't give you access, and most people carry these phones because most people, trust me, they don't carry the $1,000 fucking Apple phone. It's too damn expensive. No one can afford it. They pay a house rent before they buy a phone like that. At least I hope they would. Who knows? Maybe they'd buy a phone instead of paying rent just so they could participate in the economy. Nah, this doesn't sound right. Well, a homeless person will also have a card, and it's called it's a food stamp card. Money gets put on it every month. It's EBT, but I can only buy food with it. It's an EBT card. It's a CDBC card, but it's not digital because I've got a card. I don't have a phone. There's always going to be cards. Always going to be cards. Keeps a whole lot more energy for the IA needed for all that cash. Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the funny thing. They're producing that energy. Just it's not gone. It's not yet. It's a not yet thing. We're going to have that much energy. We will. That company I just labeled down there, NNE. Within 5 years, we'll have that energy. By 2030, your energy prices that you're paying right now at your house for electricity, gas, all that's going to be 75% cheaper than it is right now. That's right. If you're paying $100 a month right now for electricity, you'll be paying in 2020 through 2030. If you're paying 100 now, you're going to be paying 25 in 2030 for electricity. If you're paying 1,000 now, you're going to be paying 250 in 2030. Trust me, I'm right. And it's because of NNE, because they're going to produce so much damn power with this revolution of nuclear that's coming out that it's already happened, Debbie. It's already happened. Just no one knows about it. Very few like me know about it. There's mining companies that haven't even been created yet that have bought micro reactors so that they could start a company mining that hasn't been created yet. They already bought the micro reactor to do it. So if you're only looking for mining companies after they start, you'll hear about them soon. If you want to hear about them before they start, look who's buying micro nuclear reactors. You'll find out who the mining companies are. They're going to be mining silver, gold, all kinds of cool shit. You can get into the ground level if you know what produces the energy for that they're going to run off of. NNE is it. There's no hope about it. I guarantee it. Through their own sales that they've already made of the micro reactors tells the whole story. Their number one purchaser, mining companies. Have you seen that in the charts? The energy production numbers going down, profit margin going up, so the price should go down. Silver price should go down. Let's see how manipulated it is. No, he doesn't want. See, that's the funny thing, Diabolical. He does not want coal and oil. He wants nuclear. He wants hydrogen. He wants green. He wants coal. He wants oil. I've said this before. For 20 years, 25 years, we followed the subsidized electric, Green New Deal. We pushed it. The Japanese were telling us, it ain't going to work. If you want to get your people off the fossil fuels, you got to give them 3 or 4 options, not just push one on them. You got to give them 3 or 4 options. And just by the numbers, less people will buy the combustion engine and you'll meet your mandate rather than throwing billions of dollars at Tesla, allowing people the opportunity. Oh my God, quit it. Allowing people to buy cars cheap because you're subsidizing them. America's realized that. That's where we're leaving the Green New Deal and all this stuff's not going to be tax deductible, no tax incentives to buy a Tesla because they're coming up with a hydrogen hybrid diesel engine. They're coming up with a electric gas hybrid engine other than the Prius model. There's going to be 4 or 5 power plant options you're going to have over the next 2 years for your vehicle. And because you have those options, more people will take the options of other than combustion engine. And we're now moving into a cycle of that's how the world countries, your government and my government are looking at it. I'm telling you this because that's what future business is going to be. It's already written in stone. That's how it's going to be. We're leaving the push of electric and we're going alternatives. Yeah, we're going to push more oil because we can make money selling it. I told people 2 years ago we're going to be selling fucking oil like crazy. Of course we are. It's a resource we have. Why not? Same with coal. Why not? We have it. China's building 300 coal-powered power plants this year. Green Deal, really? Yeah, okay. No, we have someone who knows in Bauer now. So yeah, we're gonna be we'll be back to the world's largest exporter of coal on the planet. What's that gonna do for our revenue? V-shaped recovery is baked in. I've said it for years. A V-shaped recovery is baked in. We're going to have several months of bad times, off to the races after that. Oh yeah, no, they're dumping him because it's bullshit. You know, China's whole fucking EV market was publicly funded. It wasn't the numbers they give for their success. It's because they gave the people the money to buy it so they could show they were purchasing it. The CCP still gave them the money to buy it. It was that's subsidies. That's a subsidized industry. And China was leading the way in a subsidized industry. Think about that. That means they were throwing all of their money at something that failed. What is their capital return on investment now? Oh, fuck. Sucks to be China, huh? People don't think properly. Yeah, and it's yeah, and see that here's a funny thing, Mark. USAID has only been paused for 3 months, and you hear all these fuckers bitching already. It's an indicator of corruption, because they wouldn't bitch if it wasn't affecting their personal pocketbook. Have you ever considered that? Because that's exactly how it works. Because if it was actually helping the people would be bitching. The people aren't bitching. Only the leaders are. So that means the aid never made it through the leaders' pockets, because they're the first ones to bitch. There's already, after the second day of the suspending of 90 days of funding of USAID, on the second day, Mozambique made it illegal to do something with America because they wouldn't give them any money. That's how corrupt they are. Their whole government's corrupt. So basically what's happening is in these 90 days, we're going to find out which countries are corrupt. Those countries are going to go, don't invest in them. South Africa, sorry, Andy Schekman. South Africa is losing all of its GDP. That made it so never so great that it never was, but everyone thinks it was. It was never great. South Africa was never great. It's not been great in 20 years. It's been a shithole, and everyone thinks it's great because, hey, check this out. What's South Africa's GDP? Hold on, wait, let me tell you. South Africa's GDP is, there we go. That's it. That's all you need to see. It's 12.2. There we go. That's South Africa's GDP. Oh, really? Can you prove that? I just did. I showed you. It's 12.2. That makes us the best. Yeah. That's how it's done. In South Africa. Because of the government. The leaders are so corrupt. They just do the paperwork. There's nothing backing that paper. It's just paperwork. It's just paperwork. They've lost over $5 billion in their gold mining operations in the past 15 years. How can you lose money mining gold? Please do enlighten me. How do you lose money as a country producing gold? How do you do that? How do you lose money as the world's largest leader of platinum production? How do you lose money at creating and digging up platinum and still have a good GDP? I do not know. It's a lie. Ah, now it makes sense. It's a lie. Don't buy into it. Watch my show. I'll tell you exactly what the hell's going on down there. They just had a 15-story building in Johannesburg hijacked by a gang. They lived in the whole fucking 15-story building. One of the largest buildings in Johannesburg. Wow, really? Yeah, really. They can't get them out. Gang controls it. Rape, murder. Oh yeah, they're murder capital of the world. 26,500 people average year die. Their number one industry, 3.5 million people are employed. Private security. Not in gold mining, not in diamond mining, not in platinum mining. Private security. You know what that says about a society? Yeah. Oh no, it means that they're great as fuck. Hell, they got more private security than America, and we've got 10 times the population. Interesting. Think about it. You guys know what's going on. I'm just pointing it out. I mean, South Africa's GDP is shit. All the numbers are shit. Don't be surprised if BRICS falls apart in some form or fashion, if not totally, but definitely in some form or fashion within the next couple of years. I don't know. I haven't done the actual numbers. I can't say. Quite a few of their members don't meet the criteria for the BRICS currency. Yeah, currency. No, they don't meet the criteria for currency at all, much less the BRICS exchange system, which means you have a solid economic or economy, and you have to back your economy's dollars or whatever they're called for your country in 30% gold and the rest in assets. Cuba can't do that. Venezuela can't do that. Iran can't do that. Lots of countries that want to join or have joined BRICS can't do that. So they can't participate in the BRICS system by the BRICS rules. So what is BRICS? What's the benefit of BRICS for them? I mean, put it down. I'll wait for the next half hour for you to write down whatever the fuck you think the benefits of BRICS is for half those BRICS countries that can't meet the criteria to join the BRICS system. But yet they're in BRICS. The fuck? It's a lie. It's bullshit. But yeah, no, they're going to have a currency. It's going to rule the world. It's going to take over the dollar. Yeah, whatever the fuck you think. Yeah, sure. Okay. But, you know, if you do any research, you'll be like, oh, man, this is a bunch of bullshit. Just like what I said. If you really look at it and put applicable fucking reasoning and deductive logic behind anything that you think as you're researching it, you'll say, this is bullshit. This is a paper fucking monster. That's all it is. It's a fucking theft ring. Ah, now we're getting to it. It's a legitimate theft ring. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the hell we do to them, brother. Credit's a bad thing nowadays. It's going to go back to savings like it used to be. Work hard, savings, you know, like it used to be. It's going to be more like that. 21st century style, but basically 2.0 of work hard, save, and you can make it better life for yourself is going to come back. In a version of it's going to come back, shall we say. The 21st century version of it. And hopefully a lot of people will be even wealthier because of what Gerald said. You know, get yourself some of that crypto. Do your own research. Care about your economy. Care about your money. Care about bettering yourself. And then look into it. Don't be prejudiced. Don't be a hater. I got burned by crypto. Oh, I bet there's a raccoon out there. They just ran from the window. I don't see him, guys. Tripping out every. Matter of fact, other stuff is. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't see what they were going for. Yeah, debt free is the way to go. Be your own bank. And take serious thought of what that means and how far you can take it. Just don't take it literally. Oh, I don't have $50 billion to be my own bank. I'm not doing it. Okay. Go away. Shoo. You're gonna lose in life. Go away. Think about it. Apply it as much as possible to your life. Get out of the fucking financial system as much as possible for your situation and scenario. It's protecting yourself. You don't have to step away and totally never talk to anyone, never do this, never do that, live upstairs, put up a wall around your. Nah, you don't have to do any of that shit. Start getting out of the system to where you can be self-sufficient with your money, with your food, and with your life. Whatever that means to you, and whatever steps you can take to get to that point right now in your life's journey. It's different for everybody. Working your way to that point is what you should be doing. That's all I'm saying. All of us are at different points. And pretty much the only thing that can make you money overnight is crypto. What's up, Silver and Cigars? So invest in some of it. Crypto's not all bad. There are a lot of bad crypto, though. Having said that, shitloads of bad crypto, but crypto is not all bad. Actually, it's the prototype for a digital currency and a digital future, which is what we will have. So it's you're in the first, like what Gerald said earlier, being in front of the wave. It's coming. Dude, each chicken egg, Mark, you can sell for $1. A chicken egg for $1. Holy shit. It's like talking about the golden goose. Holy crap. You got 10 chickens, each laying 2 eggs a day. You're making yourself some freaking money. Out of nothing. If you do it right, you can grow vegetables in a separate run right beside where your chickens are. Make a little 10-foot area by 30 or 40 foot, cover so the birds can't get in, and grow separate crops in there, and keep a compost pile in there, and let your chickens in there every now and then to run the roost of that area, so where they get some organic food and feed shit. You'll be amazed at how much it'll offset the food cost of your chickens. And of course, you can use, obviously, the compost you take and use in your soil to grow better crops for yourself, which gives you a higher yield and better product where you can make money or even be healthier if you grow your own food or eat your own food. There you go. Free range and table scraps. And like I said, if you wanted an area you could grow specific crops that chickens eat, a little area, a little strip, keep them off of it, let them in like once a week so they don't like tear up all the ground and shit. And then keep a compost pile. They'll roost and turn over that compost for you, getting those bugs. And that's actually good exercise for them and good nutrition. And it turns over your compost, and they shit well on your compost, which helps your compost. So, I mean, it's like a win-win-win. But that's a very good way to go, Mark. 12 chickens, you're getting $360 a month if you sold them. That's like your electric bill and water bill and garbage bill, depending on what state you're in. Here, it's not even your electric bill. It's like half your electric bill. And yeah, like Debbie said, organic, you'll find that the quality of the egg is a lot more nutritious for you, Mark, than what I get at the store. Right on, Mark. I did a little video on winter greenhouses, Amish style, to where you can heat in the snowy wintertime a greenhouse and grow year round. And part of it is water bottles, big ones, 5-gallon, 55-gallon, that will heat up in the sun. If you have like north-south face, east or east-west face, and you put one side water, other side you get some water so they can collect the sun. They distribute heat at night, and it helps to radiant temperature inside the greenhouse be several degrees higher than outside, along with if you put a compost inside your greenhouse, because composts get up to 160 degrees. And they can actually keep the ambient temperature of your greenhouse about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than the outside temperature. So those two tricks right there can raise the temperature of your inside greenhouse by 25 to 35 degrees over the outside temperature at night, which is actually pretty dramatic. I said, if you had like better double plastic or those polyethylene plastic windows, and then still like a visqueen on top of it, so you have like a double heat penetration and retaining, is good. But yeah, be in your own bank as much as possible, and think about it. You think right off the bat when someone says that, you think, oh, cash, capital bank. No. Have you ever heard of a food bank? Grow your own food and be your own food bank as much as you can for your scenario. I've done videos on how you take coffee grounds and other food scrap, dig a 1-foot hole in your yard. I live in a city. I live in a city in the Bay Area. I live in the fucking city jungle. I have a little bit of yard that has dirt. And I dig up a hole and I stick all those coffee grounds in there, and then I bury it. Then when the lady upstairs has some more scrap like that, I go a couple feet off of that, dig another hole. I've done that for years, to where I'll just now throw the stuff away, because the soil is so freaking rich. Anything I grow is just awesome shit, because I've taken care of what little soil I have by composting. In ground is what I call in-ground composting. Oh, sweet. Yeah, you got it going on then, brother. My cats are 101 degrees. I can put some of my cats in there. They'll help keep the chickens warm. Like that one right there, or that one right there. Who's that? It's Harley, Silver, Gandalf, Ginger, and now Chloe's down here behind me. Let's see if you can't see Chloe. Nope, you can't see Chloe. Chloe's down here. Yeah, you won't be able to see her here either. There she is. Mrs. Americas. It's Miss Americas. And that's Chloe. Miss America. What's up, Chloe? You Miss America? You is. She's fun. Every cat has their own personality. It keeps me occupied. Oh, that's sweet, bro. Yeah, I've seen those Nigerian goats, pictures of them, not real ones. That's sweet that she protects them, though. If you have fields, actually, mules or donkeys and mules are very, very, very good protectors. If you have fields where you can keep them, like if you have sheep, have some donkeys out there. Donkeys will take care of coyote in a heartbeat. Yes, they are. Let's see, where is that? Hmm. There's a donkey. Hold on a second. There we go. There's the donkey. Stubborn and deadly. No, I don't think Nickel's still here. And you can check. There's 3 dots at the top. The chat. Go to community moderators, participants. Yeah, right now there's Diabolical Deli, Debbie, Gerald, Mark C, myself, and Silver and Cigars. Yeah, let them work together, brother. Shit, don't change their behavior to a bad way. Use it in a good way. She wants to bed down with them. The chickens should go inside their beds, their actually hen area and nest and roost where the goat shouldn't be able to go, but in the front areas, which is a great protective area for her to be a very standoffish for any predators that might want to go for chickens to see a goat in there, and they'd be like, nah, it's okay. Nice, Marcy. Meow, meow. No, because you weren't talking. It only shows people that are talking. Now it'll show you up there. By the way, I'm fixing to eat the last two of those Hershey's Kisses. So, what subject do you guys wish to discuss? Probably all the silver. Yeah, I'm in this stream. I'm going for 3.5 hours. I appreciate everyone being here. You guys have a great week coming up. And make sure grow some, put some fruit trees and nut trees out there. It's a great benefit. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. You guys have a great week and be the best you can be this week. And I will see you guys next Sunday.